for initiative because we are live.
I was like girls now.
I rolled a 4.
I was like, that was a little less excited than I usually roll for initiative.
I hated what I did.
Well, I didn't see, but I'll check the VOD. But I was like looking, and I have muted many things on my streaming software, and I was like, I'm muted, so I'm gonna go. I was just waiting for it. Welcome back to another episode of Windfall, everybody. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so very nervous for you guys today. I'm feeling great, but you guys be very
Well, you're nervous for us. That's worse.
So I want to just thank everyone for being here. Thank you to the lurkers. Thank you for people that are checking out our YouTube. You can check all of our VODs out there if you haven't been catching up with the show. You can jump in today and maybe put some of the pieces together. It's sort of a zany adventure, so you're going to miss some of the character development and plot point stuff, but I feel like you can...
Today's episode is going to be a soft reboot, as all of us die.
A soft reboot. Yeah, today's the TPK session.
We're
and
rolling
you can
the
help
characters.
TPK kill the entire party by redeeming a monster, which we did last week, and it was fantastic. So yeah, I'd like to thank Californians, as always, for composing our theme song, which absolutely bops, and I listen to it very often when I'm prepping and thinking, yes, this is the music to your destruction. Ernie is OP. Well, there's also a misfortune redeemed, because it says, I have faith in you guys. That faith is misplaced.
Ernie does 3 points of damage, but it's always the last hit
The
point
last
per
3
monster.
points. You got every monster in that last encounter.
I did. I killed everybody.
You got all the
I killed them all.
Oh my god. Well, so yeah, thank you to Californians, and I don't have much else to say, guys. Did we have anything that you guys wanted to talk about before we got started?
No, it's Morbin time.
You were supposed to save it.
I was like, he already we had one, and you
He's like,
wasted
he's sitting there. He's like, oh, everyone's gonna wait for the opportune moment. I'm just gonna say it at a really fucking dumb
Hold
time.
on, that's one.
So now no one else gets to say it now. You ruined all.
Oh dang! Now I can't say it.
All right. Well,
Draft.
it was great, guys. But it is in fact Morbin time.
Okay. Wait.
And stream over.
Bring the string back.
All right. Without further ado, let's return. With a little music here. Let's return to the Sleeping Sea of the next episode of Windfall. Let's turn that music way the fuck down where it's supposed to be. On last week's episode, Empty Isle, the party dealt with the aftermath of the strange, still unexplained chilling fog that nearly froze over the crew. After navigating through the enigmatic blizzard, the party found themselves closer to their destination than was geographically possible, just outside of Empty Isle. Before going ashore, the party had a number of heartfelt talks with one another and members of the crew, most notably the ship's young powder monkey, Red Rage Rosamund. Afterwards, the party went towards Empty Isle, pushing past a dangerous whirlpool which seemed to drain the water around the island, revealing small underground chambers. Upon approaching, the party, namely Ernest, became enthralled by a haunting song, the Siren's Call.
You mean the hot bird lady?
The hot bird lady. Yeah. He got slid into the DMs of the hot bird lady. The Siren's Call of a harpy, which seemed to try to drag the party into this cluster of dangerous rocks, while a second pair began to assault the party from above. The battle was in the water, in the rocks, in the skies, and was dangerous. And thanks to Chat Redemption, thank you, Chat, included a giant jellyfish which came and tried to finish off the party at their most vulnerable. But fighting tooth and nail, the party emerged victorious and managed to make it to the island. There, they were met with a almost ritualistic box, which revealed something lurking beneath the island. It communicated with the party telepathically, and then entreated them with a game of riddles. The party was able to solve the riddles. Yes, more jelly, Pico. More jelly. The party was able to solve the riddles, revealing the identity of the creature lurking below. Tan Zarel, a hyper-intelligent giant octopus which had studied and learned magic. Tan Zarel was apparently on the run, having been hunted his entire life. The party made peace and told him of the sanctuary of Otun, where an erudite such as himself might find something of interest. They then parted ways and returned to the Windfall to see an omen on the horizon. A mere few hours away, a black ship with a black flag, bearing, emblazoned upon it, the white star of Starhiel, the country from which Cordelia comes. This is where we pick up today, with the shadows on the horizon. The sleeping sea in front of you, with no recorded landmass within 100 miles of this island, has never seemed so small. No more than a mere speck on the horizon, you know that the ship from Starhiel has assuredly spotted you and will close the gap in a matter of hours. The captain, Melicado the Magnificent, rubs his mustache, which is made of the hardened chitin-like cartilage that surrounds his body. He's wearing his full regalia, a broad scarlet twin coat with a big, purple silk shirt underneath. And though you've never seen him as raise a fist, he has a hand cannon and a saber strapped to his side. He nervously fiddles with a gold ruby ring on his finger, twisting it back and forth. The air on the Windfall is palpable. The cool salt breeze kicks the sail, which struggles for a brief moment. The sailors move through the motions of their duties in robotic fashion, silently and swiftly pulling lines, hoisting chains, and throwing rope as the ship begins to breathe into motion once more. The last command of the captain hangs in the air. Ernie, fetch me the turtles.
You want them up on the deck?
Quick. We don't have time. Just very quickly, please. Mr. Smith, and he turns to the first mate, the Smith. The first mate is wearing just an open Corsair shirt revealing his chest, his tawny skin and his elf-like structure, bursting with his green runes covering his body, almost like electricity inside of his veins trying to escape. He looks at the captain. Captain, with respect, even with 3, by my calculations, we would need at least 5 pieces in order to fish. I'm not fully sure that we have an option. We might have to take a calculated gamble. Ernest, please.
I mean, okay, I'm pretty small. They're pretty big turtles. Guys, can we... I turn to the crew. Can somebody open up the thing? Let's start hoisting them things up.
All right, so they open up the cargo pit, and you watch as several members of the crew just go, and they pull open the I don't know what it's called, the hole in the middle of the ship. Mm-hmm. The hoist comes down, and you hear us from below. You hear Terry, "I've got the big one."
Okay.
And hoisted up, you can see Roosevelt, the first giant enchanted tortoise, kind of land, and he's just chewing on something, like some sort of... It looks like a shoe, like someone's shoe in his mouth, and he's just like completely oblivious to what's going on. They unstrap him and begin to do so for the other 2 tortoises, begin to hoist them back up towards the deck.
Are we pulling a runner, Captain? What's the plan here?
Plan. I
am in charge. And I have a plan! And he broadly opens up his arm, and the crew are shaking their heads. Let's do one of those huddle things you're all so fond of. Everyone in. And he pulls
I feel
everyone in.
exposed.
No judgments. But I think this might have something to do with the Erder May you did to the scientists. So...
Yeah, I kind of thought that might have been the case as well.
I have an idea. Mr. Smith is working on something elaborate, which will allow us to escape from these doldrums in which we find ourselves. it's my problem that I've had you helping me solve. And you've been doing an amicable job, but we need to hasten, and it requires pieces of something. And these tortoises have those pieces that we need. We don't have enough, but we have enough to make a shot at it.
This is all pretty
Vague.
Yep.
I like to play things close to the chest, and he like pats his chest.
What are they?
What or what?
What are these pieces? What are they for?
We don't have time for
You need to tell us what is going on, so we can help you.
You want intimidation or diplomacy?
Diplomacy?
Okay, go for
That's
it.
why I added that, so we can help.
So we can help.
You die.
He just has that resting brood face.
Yeah.
He's not.
Tell me, you're my boss, but tell me.
Oh. Oh.
Tell me, we do start with 1.
Everyone's got 1 hero point.
28.
28. The guy then takes off his hat, revealing his extra eyeball, his blue skin with that pointed tip of a head, the cartilage wrapped up around it, not quite hair, but making like sort of a pointed tip. He holds his hat in his hands. I have a confession for the lot of you. I'm not from Arla. I know.
It's okay, I just found out I'm not either.
Gosh, all sorts of revelations today.
This might be hard for some of you to grasp, but... And he, like, raises his head intentionally dramatically. I am not of this world.
Keep going.
I come from a
It's like all time.
Come on.
different place. Far, far away place.
Restaurant?
Farther away, not of this plane. I rode here on a vessel that I borrowed. How many of you, perhaps 3 years ago, saw something of a blue meteor in the sky?
I don't remember.
Is he talking about the thing that I saw when Claudius and I mind melded?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't seen that, that was
She does
how
not.
I got here. And when you borrow a vehicle and crash it, the pieces might go. And if that vessel belongs to the astral plane, then those pieces have consequences when they fall down to this plane. So, little bits of your world got tangled up with little bits of my world, and they got all mishmashed around, and I'm trying to find the pieces so I can rebuild the vessel and get out of here.
Does everyone in the Astral Sea use turtle power?
The turtles, and he like bonks on Claudius's head, and you can see Claudius like look up, and he's got these like, you see his eyes, there's gemstone eyes. Whenever the pieces find something, they want to be part of something, and they've bonded with the turtles, so I don't necessarily need the turtles, but I need several pieces of the thing that I'm missing, and it just so happens that the turtles are 3 of those pieces. It's a very large number of pieces.
Do you think we can get any more in the next 3 hours?
2 hours, 25 minutes.
It's hard to say. There's something pressing. I represent a conglomerate, not a kingdom, not a empire, an organization of interstellar travelers. We go from plane to plane, from places like the city of Brass, throughout the different planes, the Feywild, rich exotic landscapes. And We are something of a merchant guild. We have no army, we have no kings,
Did you say merchant or merchant?
Merchant.
Okay.
Merchancy is generally frowned upon by people like me. And so, I might be in a little bit of trouble with home, which is why I need these pieces. So I can leave. Because we can't leave. The fact that we can't get out of the Sleeping Sea is because they're not letting anyone out. And I'm afraid that the area is closing in. We've been sailing, but I can feel it zoning closer and closer. Every day we spend here, there's another chance that they find us. So I say, why not take a calculated risk? We gamble on the 3 tortoises, bless them. He pats Jane on the shell. But I weigh the lives of the crew a little bit more heavily than these 3 beasts.
So if the 3 don't work, then what happens?
Well, I mean, perhaps we make up a plan B.
I normally start there. Does this involve us, like, are we going to get away from the other ship faster when we, are we gonna shoot a turtle gun at them?
Mr. Smith, and he just shakes his head. You can see the idea of turtle gun was clicking in his head. He was like, wait a fucking second.
Can we do this?
Let's just say that there isn't a ship that could catch us if we pull this off.
Okay.
Well, we're certainly not going to find the rest of the pieces before this ship finds us.
So, what do you think needs to happen? Do you just like I grab 2 of the turtles, like put them together, and like make their shells touch?
Wesley, you look famished. Cordelia, will you take Wesley down to the galley and get him something to eat?
And she kind of for the first time like looks over at him because her eyes have been glued to the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I think we could all use some lunch.
So you'll go down to the galley?
That's where she's heading. Okay. She's obviously not been paying attention to anything that's been said.
So as soon as like Wesley goes down there, he's like,
Okay, so we're back to killing
yeah,
the turtles again.
we have to murder them and take the stones from out of them.
How long will it take to... I guess it's kind of like we're talking to both of he and the Smith. How long will it take to...
How fast can you butcher a turtle?
I've put down animals in my time.
All right, well, and Ernie's putting handcuffs on himself and putting them behind his back. Just tell Wesley I tried to fight you guys.
Man, Cordelia, sandwiches are so convenient. They're portable food. I think I want to go back on deck.
You go back on deck with your sandwich.
Hey, Jane, you gotta try this.
Oh,
And you see Melicato like flipping Jade over, and you see Ernie with his hands behind his back, and you see Brooke with a butcher's knife, just like, and they all just like slowly turn towards you.
I was gone for 5 seconds.
You sure were. Wesley, in order for us to get out of this alive, we're gonna have to ask a lot of these turtles. In fact, we'll have to ask everything of them.
There is one other option.
Why
Why did you lead with that?
I tried to stop him, Wesley.
Melicato he starts unbuttoning his shirt, and like He like opens it up to his bare
Is he gonna
blue
fuck
chest.
the turtles?
I don't know if I like this hashtag.
No! I could hide the assets.
Team Flirtle.
The problem, Team Flirtle, Jesus Christ. I could hide the assets, but the problem is I wouldn't be able to hide all of you. So when Starhiel comes in here sniffing about, sure, they won't find any turtles, but let's say he like waves to all of you. 5 very distinct individuals that they're looking for. Well, 3 very distinct individuals and 2 humans.
I'm still looking at I haven't come back up.
One of us is human.
I mean, I can probably hide on this ship.
But then someone has to talk to them.
You are the captain.
Therefore, I designate the bosun to parley with the other ship. I will have captainly things to do. So, you, Brooks.
If they have the scientists on board their ship, they've seen my face.
Plan C.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a twin?
I don't
Ah.
think
That
so.
seems much more convenient.
At any rate, Mr. Master Kai, we have... He like looks at you to tell him how much time's left until the ship gets here.
It's been like 5 minutes.
It's been like 5 minutes.
2 hours, 20 minutes.
I don't think they saw my face. I was a bit far away.
Perhaps you could treat with them then.
That's a terrible idea, but I'll do it if you say.
I say! Alright, so then the question is, who wants to hide in my closet? There's only going to be room for 2 of you. He picks up Jane single-handedly, and he goes... And you watch as like his chest begins to glow, and the tortoise goes and goes inside his chest.
I don't want to hide in there.
And he picks up Claudius and then goes and he puts Claudius. And you guys have seen him do this before with treasure and trinkets and things. He's put it inside of
But these things are breathing.
yeah, and he picks up the last one. Oh! And actually, the last one's too large, so he just
He
kind of
just
like
lays
opens
on
up
him.
his shirt and he just goes, he like pancakes onto it and absorbs, and he buttons up his shirt. I would not stay in there for more than a couple of hours, but if you want to hide, feel free to hide. Otherwise, you'll be treating with this other ship.
Who have they seen?
You should probably take Cordelia. She's
We
terrified of
we
these
should
people.
also hide Chris, the cabin boy. You haven't met him yet, I don't think.
We have a cabin boy I haven't met.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's a big fan of yours,
Oh.
We gave him an eye patch.
and one of your glossy 8x10s.
Okay. Great. I'm on board with this. Well, why do we need to hide the cabin boy?
I don't think Starhiel will like him.
Cordelia!
He is a human.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he has his, well, he's missing an eye,
he's
but his
missing
other
an eye,
eye
but-
is regular.
Yeah.
He's the human. The
Yeah,
changeling
sure.
we left.
Cordelia!
She'll come back up with the remainder of the sandwiches that didn't get brought.
No questions. Do what I ask. He jumping it like a Mario 64 painting.
She kind of looks back at the group.
It's an extra dimensional space for you to hide in.
He's trying to eat you.
You'll be with the turtles. We didn't kill him. That sounded way more ominous depending on when you left. I lost track. Hold on 1 second. I pressed the secret button on the hand on the decorator.
All right.
Unless you feel more comfortable on the ship.
And she looks, but no. And she'll pick up a couple sandwiches and. Honestly, not the weirdest thing I've done.
And Cordelia goes inside the captain's chest with this glow of blue, absorbing her. All right, Cordelia's dead. Now.
I will never eat again.
She left you sandwiches.
All right, before I button up, is there anyone else?
What a button up.
Nope, I'm good, man.
And he starts buttoning and he pulls his coat closed. Just in case they have any inquisitive minds. All right. Well, then what should we do to prepare?
Well, I don't think we're fighting them. So we should probably just... Do you have merchant documents? Can we be a merchant ship?
We certainly could be.
All right, I'm going to start forging some papers.
You're gonna forge some wares as well.
Do you have something you can pretend to sell?
There's no pickles remaining.
We could just tell them we lost our merchandise in the fog.
What? I don't know why I was worried. This is going to go swimmingly.
I'm gonna exit his chest and everyone's gonna be dead.
There's no exit.
That's what you're gonna be.
You're just gonna poke your head out and be like,
They stab him in the heart and you explode out of the next dimension.
Okay,
From their point of view, it's just gonna be a corpse lifting him off the ground as your head like pokes against the.
This is how changelings are born.
Wow.
thanks, I hate it.
So, Cordelia, as you dive in holding 2 sandwiches, you land on... The best way I can describe it is...
Scrooge McDuck.
Name is Barry. The next NPC's name will be Barry. The next... Okay.
Barry from Starhiel.
You got it. Thank you, Pika. The best way I can describe it is like a Super Mario Galaxy planet. Very small. There's a small grassy planet, and all you can see around you are stars stretching. There seems to be light gravity, but there is just a little grassy nook, and there's turtles, and there's also just mounds of like treasure, scrolls, rings, swords, like treasure that has been tributed to the captain, sitting on like a big pile in here. There's a big comfy chair as well, and the tortoises are just like
Eating the treasure.
seemingly unbothered by this. The air feels thin, it's a little hard for you to breathe, and you realize you can't stay in here forever, but this must be the captain's extra dimensional space inside his pectorals.
Kind of peaceful. And she'll kind of give Jane a little scritch.
She kind of, I don't know if turtles lick, but she licks your hand. And,
I'll
just
pull
a
out
little-
some of the lettuce from my sandwich and hand it to her.
She just nibbles on it. In the meantime, what are we doing to prepare for the Starhiel ship bearing down upon us?
Should we move the cannon to the other side just in case?
The cannon, the one cannon.
Oh man. I don't think we'll be able to outgun them.
No, they have at least 8 cannons on board that thing.
You can see that from here.
No, that's how big the ship is, though.
They've seen me, they've seen you, they've seen...
Yeah, I punched a couple of them in the
Yeah,
face.
they saw me.
They won't recognize Wesley with clothes on.
We've only seen him from the belt down.
I did
No.
have that cloak.
You did. You were dressed like a scientist.
They met Wesley. They've
Wait.
never met Easton.
One of you guys does have the chameleon suit.
No one's got it fixed.
Oh, that's a really good point.
You can
I mean,
I
you've
start
got...
changing my complete look.
Okay, you zip up.
wait.
My hair goes blonde.
Okay.
My hair gets
One of you
longer,
guys. You've got 2
and
hours.
I changed
You
my
could've-
skin
you could've
tone
tuned to
to. Actually, it was pretty dark at the time, to a much paler look.
He's got a point. Captain,
Yes.
do you have perhaps some foppish clothes we could put on Wesley? If you could pretend to be Easton. I mean, you are Easton, but
He's a fine.
Do you?
Like, was it like he's literally wearing fine
Ah.
clothing?
But they'll recognize you in
Fine
those.
clothing.
You might be better off asking Cass.
Did you keep that book of like all the genealogy?
Yeah. I'm like, pull it out of my backpack.
That's pretty ironclad proof They need to know who you are.
Yeah, but we need him to not look like he did last time, probably.
Yeah.
New outfit.
I don't look how I did either.
Oh, that's Ernie.
I'm gonna go change clothes.
All right. Is anyone doing anything besides changing clothes?
I am forging documentation that we are a merchant vessel. I am like kind of taking my own personal inventory and quickly trying to make it look like the most recent sort of like bills of sale and
Purchase,
stuff
okay.
like that.
All right.
And I'm like faking like ports of call, like we've been to like Arla and Restaurant, a few different places.
Okay.
Maybe we're most recently returning from what's south of here? I'm blanking. Tarva.
Tarva. Okay. Sounds good to me. Anyone else? Any other preparations?
Kai is gonna go hide his mask in his bunk.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were wearing
Seems
that
like
the
a
whole
good
time.
I don't think my clothing matters because I was wearing that cloak over top.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Brooks looks kind of like normal for a human, so I don't think that having just brown hair and eyes is gonna be like, oh yeah, the guy that was there had brown eyes and hair. Okay.
Strikingly handsome. You're guilty. I can tell. All
So
right.
it might not be too bad.
Okay. Is that it?
If you've got scruff, like shave and clean up, maybe.
Did he have? He
I
might
don't
have
know.
scruff. That's probably fine.
You need like an eye patch, just to kind of like throw things up a bit. Or should we put like your one of your arms in a sling? Maybe
Make
get
it
you
look like I was fighting things.
a peg leg. Should we shave your head?
No.
Okay.
I did have a hood on.
Okay. Okay. Just I'm throwing things out there. There's this is a warm up.
Anything else?
I'll wear an eye patch.
All right. I find an eye patch somewhere and kind of help affix it to you.
I guess we're gonna go montage and cast this closet.
Okay. Cass in a place that's supposed to be like for navigation charts and like very important documents and stuff. It's been cleaned out, and it's her closet of fantastic, wonderful twin-tailed coats, short coats, vibrant colors, big hats, all the big hats. Long, elegant gloves. She has pants. She has boots. I mean, she's like, well, I mean, help yourself. Frankly, I'm happy to see you wear anything else.
All right. Yeah, I guess I would try to make an ensemble that looks like finery and try to match like. I guess if like looking at the genealogy thing, if there's like a royal color for this dukedom or something.
Be green.
Oh, I already wear green, so more greens.
More greens. All right.
All right.
You've got it.
I kind of grabbed everyone around. All right, everybody. We are a merchant vessel.
Pa merchant?
Nope. Merchant vessel. We were returning from Tarva when we got lost in a mysterious fog. We have been unable to get out of the sleeping sea, and we ended up at this island. We're low on supplies. A lot of this is true.
I was saying, most of that's true, Quartermaster.
We got here. We fought some very hot bird ladies. And frankly, there was rumors of treasure. Maybe we can let that leak. But that's it.
Where do I come in?
We've also been to a few other places. When we were in Restrin, this guy decided to ride along.
Okay. Terry comes up to you. What do I do?
Terry,
I'm ready to kill if need be.
I don't need you to kill. But today's the day. I hand him my whistle. You're the quartermaster.
Just immediately.
No, that was
Just
really
immediately.
that was really symbolic more than anything. That I'm gonna pretend to not be that important while they're here. You're the quartermaster.
So I'm gonna do all the talking.
Oh, give me the whistle back.
gonna start a chat redemption right now. If we raise enough, Terry does all the talking.
Oh no.
Terry, I need you to get all the weird stuff on this ship and pile it up and pretend we're selling it.
Like the Nestle
The
milk?
captain.
When I give the signal.
All right, so Terry starts grabbing stuff and starts piling it up.
Okay.
Just piling it up.
Is there some kind of like, I don't know if this is an item or like an action to make a disguise?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just like a
Disguise
deception
kit.
check, or do you need a kit?
Yeah, you need like a kit. I would
I
say
mean, you
can
can make
use-
like a maze shift kit and just not have an item bonus, maybe. But
That's a chat redemption worth saving for. Okay, I gotta start putting some of that stuff in there. Little goals.
Because I feel like I could maybe. I mean, if there's like
You
just a
could,
bunch of stuff.
I would
around.
say that you could probably try and roll for that with your deception, using Cass's makeup.
Impersonate is a
Is it trained skill
is a
action?
deception skill.
Is it trained?
It does not appear to be.
Huh? You can just try it out then.
I'll do that.
Go for it.
Yeah, here.
Deception.
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I mean, you'll have an hour.
Oh, to make it. I thought it was like
Yeah.
it lasts for 10. I was like, oh no.
No. You take.
Like you're walking and the 10-minute timer goes off and the ears start falling off, your makeup starts running.
No,
I'm
it takes
trying to
10
find
minutes
it.
to like put it together.
26.
26.
So they're gonna roll against
Do some contouring.
Got it. Anything else before we
Under
move the scene
exploration,
forward?
Oh, it's exploration.
If you get a hold of Cordelia's makeup, you can do some like raccoon eyes.
No,
Yeah.
no, I have forged the paperwork.
Okay. The black ship closes in. The ship in front of you is a bark. It's comparable size to the Windfall. 3 masts, with the fore and aft mast with a square sail. All the color of dark coal. The hull of the ship is a deep charcoal gray. Not painted, but seemingly made from some sort of gray, dark tree which grows in Starhiel. The figurehead is a woman, cloaked, holding a star to her breast. As the ship veers into view, cutting through the water like an obsidian knife, you can see the word contrition emblazoned on the side in silver lettering. Beneath it, you see 3 hatches open, and the barrels of 3 9-pounder cannons point towards your hull. Vessel Windfall, prepare to be boarded. Do not resist, or we will open fire.
I kind of give the signal to.
As your hand like barely raises, you watch as one of those hook ladders falls, clinks onto the side of the Windfall, tearing into the wood, and the metal collapses, creating a perfect boarding plank. 3 people walk forward with confident strides. The very first is of average height and a lithe, pretty muscular build. He wears intricate studded leather armor of a deep burgundy, draped with a fur-lined cloak and a deep black cloak that flows behind him. His hair is well swept, whether by the elements or by his own comb, you can't tell, but he has a immaculately trimmed, pretty thick beard. He has striking gray eyes and a sharp, hawk-like features, including a slight hook to his nose. On his side, he has a rapier and then a hand crossbow on the other side, and he strides forward. Behind him is a young man with soft, rosy cheeks, a bundle of blonde curls, and a deep navy robe. He has a white rope with a huge metal orb at the bottom, similar to like a censer, and he has a white lily on his lapel. And then flanking on the opposite side, crossing across, is a tall, splint mail armored man bearing a halberd. He has dull black eyes, a bald head with the hair just beginning to grow back, probably shaven this morning. Thank you for the permission to board. It does make my job so much easier when people are compliant. Whom do I have the pleasure of addressing?
Name's Kai. This is the Windfall. We're a merchant vessel.
He nods. My name is Cohen Minke. My official title is Blade of the Inquisition, though I think that's a little too formal for the current circumstances. I seek out undesirables for Emperor Ganvar and see that the sanctity of Starhiel is not compromised. However, I was pulled from my home on official orders and hastened on my voyage due to strange circumstances. You notice anything strange in these waters?
Why, yes. A couple of days back, we actually came across a fog. Chilled us to the bone. I'm not sure how we made it out, but we lost quite a bit of our cargo in that fog, and ended up seemingly miles from where we started.
You're gonna lie? So
I don't think I did.
That was.
You said you lost most of your cargo.
Yeah, we lost the whole ship.
You're still being a little deceptive.
I am being deceptive. That's a true statement.
Yeah,
Let's
lie action versus
yes. You're gonna roll versus
perception
perception DC.
It was a mistake to have me be the talk. I have a 0 in deception. We hero point those
Okay, we
because we
hero
get to
point
use the
those.
better one.
What was that?
Natural 20.
Or a 20.
Kidding me.
I always wanted to call it, but I'm like, no, I don't want to jinx it.
Don't jinx it.
Well, your story does check out. We were caught in the fog ourselves not too long ago. In fact, we found ourselves, he points just over there, hundreds of miles from where we were originally.
And Kai leans forward kind of low. Have you tried to? When did you say you came into the sleeping sea?
It's funny. We were 2 weeks ahead of schedule, and we were on some business heading south to the free cities of Sadris. When we found that it was rather impossible to leave. So, imagine my chagrin when I returned to the research facility, which was under my jurisdiction to protect and observe, to find my countrymen slaughtered. Researchers, scientists. One was assaulted so bad that her spine was severed and the back of her head split open. Another, legs cut off. Others bled out. And the rest were not in good sorts. I have a description of the assailants and any information leading to their capture will be met with reward. Since you are a merchant ship, I'll ask you straightforward, have you traded or have you entreated with anyone in these past couple of days?
The last people we traded with were. How long? This is out of character. How long has it been since we were in?
Literally yesterday was the
Red-tailed
rest of the
fish.
ship.
Yeah, we went the rest
And
of
then
the
you
show.
were...
Oh yeah.
And then it's like,
That's right,
And then
that's
it's
right.
been
it's been 4 or
4 days.
5.
Yeah, it's been 5 days since you were at the research
Yeah.
facility.
well, 5 days since the...
I was looking
The
for
town.
the town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it was like a week before that.
Yeah.
There was a ship from Restaurant just yesterday, but that was before the fog.
He opens up a piece of his leather and you can see like pins, a little bottle of ink. He pulls out a pocketbook and you see him take out the pen and he starts to write. What's the name of this ship?
I walk forward with the logs that I've done, and you can see where there's like an exchange made with the red-tailed fish.
Master Kai was?
That's correct.
May I
Yes.
have your
What was-
permission to speak to your crewmen, please?
Yes, of course.
Pardon me, you are a changeling gnome, are you not?
I am a gnome, yes, sir.
And you can change your skin.
I've been told it flickers mostly when I'm sleeping, sir.
Instead of changeling, I meant to say chameleon. Very good, thank you.
Freudian slip.
And I do appreciate the information, immaculately clean record books you have there.
Thank you. My pa always said I was good with numbers, sir.
That's not a good... No.
I don't remember the name of the ship actually.
It was
It
a
is
red
the
tail
red-tailed
fin.
fish.
It was Red-tailed fish, yeah, and I basically tell them about them being, them mentioning they were from Lindy Lock.
Oh. I've heard some news from that area, but again, it doesn't concern me. My concern lies mostly with the acquisition and rescue of the assets that are missing from our research facility. 3 very large tortoises.
Tortoises.
They're like turtles, but they are on the land.
Who?
Kai
Why
sort
would
of, like-
someone take?
Yeah, Kai sort of like looks around. There's the half sunken island over here, but basically no other land to be seen.
I'm also looking for the individuals responsible. I was given a vague description of 2 humans, another unmentioned assailant, a gnome, and then a very odd-looking elf with black hair. Any of that seem familiar to you?
Well, I think most of us are here, right?
Yeah, we have a couple of humans aboard the ship, but I think you'll find this is mostly a halfling crew.
He looks around.
Myself aside, of course.
There are a large number of hastens on board.
And goblins.
And goblins.
I must say, it is an interesting ship. And he looks over. Is your captain present?
I'm afraid not. Haven't seen him since the fog.
He just kind of nods. Your first mate?
Don't have a first mate.
Quartermaster.
That's me, sir.
He's good with numbers.
And your name?
My name is Carlo.
Carlo. That would put you in charge, yes?
I don't really think of it like that, sir. I just kind of keep the books. It's a merchant vessel. We just buy and sell things, so I guess you could say I'm in charge, yeah.
Captain said.
You gotta stop darkening yourself, Carlo.
Captain said I was to lead us under circumstances like this, but I don't know. I don't really think I'm cut out for it.
He shrugs. Gentlemen, you've been more than welcoming to me and my crew, and you've been very amicable in this conversation. I ask just one more thing, that you allow me and my men to sweep your ship and take a look around for anything that might be amiss. And if you allow us to do this very quickly, then we'll be out of your way and we can part ways, and hopefully you can sail into fairer waters.
Well, I don't think we have anything to hide. You won't damage the ship.
No, not unless we find anything that we're not happy about.
Here's a copy of our manifest if you want to make sure that it matches everything.
He looks at it. Running very light indeed, but these are troubling times. Barry, and the young blonde man with the rosy cheeks right behind. If you would just take care of everything topside while we take a look around. He waves, and you watch as 5, 10, 15, 20 armed sailors just go piling in from the other ship, and they just come in, and then they just start abusing the ship. They're ripping open barrel. They are ripping open barrels, digging inside the food storage. They're going through pots and pans. You can hear them clattering. They're just going all over. And Cohen, the Blade of the Inquisition, the guy that seems to be treating with you, just kind of
You mentioned 3 that came up. What are the other 2 doing while Cohen's kind of leading this conversation?
right now they're sort of directing men. The one guy with the halberd has not left Cohen's side, and then the other one is sort of directing people.
That's the one
Barry.
with the white cord around
The
his neck?
white cord with
Barry.
the little sensor right there.
Can I take a look at that sensor thing, and can I get any sort of idea of what it is?
Well, it's a religious check, so.
Sounds like some sort of religious and.
Natural 20 for a 29.
He is a partner. So basically, whenever in Starhiel, they are monotheistic. They do not believe in the pantheon or the various other gods that the rest of Asteria believe in. They have one god, one single god, and when you sin, you have to go to this guy and basically get a pardon from him, or you're basically unclean in the sight of that specific god. So he's a religious figure that he would partner. They go along on ships because if you commit an atrocity at sea, you don't want sinners aboard your ship if you're from Starhiel. So He's a partner. In that, it's scented oils, incense, things like that we use for religious rites and ceremonies, things like that. And that's Barry.
The holy water herder.
You just hear crashing, smashing, like upturned like things. You can actually hear like some planks being pulled up.
I have mending. We can fix it.
You said your men wouldn't hurt the ship.
I think you'll find you're no worse for wear after this. Nothing a little oil but grease can't fix. I find it very distressing, and he points over, and you see a soldier trying to open the captain's cabin, and Barry like standing outside, and he like looks at Cohen, and Cohen looks at you. Might we have a look in the cabin?
Can I be honest with you, sir? We think the captain's dead in there, but he locked it up from the inside.
Captain doesn't let people in his cabin.
He kind of did some weird magic, and we just don't really know how he has that door sealed.
It's funny that you mention weird magic. I specifically am tasked with finding weird magic and putting it to bed. Perhaps I can solve your captain problem. If he has become a phantom of some sort, I could assuredly put him to rest. And you're sure
I
we'll
could
be hunting
assuredly
more.
fucking destroy it.
If I may have your permission.
Sorry, I love this ship. Please don't destroy the ship.
With your permission, there will be no need.
If you can get it open.
He twists his hand and the door swings wide open. As it does, you just see Melicato.
Oh, he is alive.
The door is open! I'm free!
You're alive!
I'm alive!
It was just jammed this whole time?
That damn thing wouldn't open.
Must have thrown shut during that fog.
It is I, your captain, Melicato! What a touching reunion. Tell me, how does a mercane come to be the captain of a merchant vessel?
It's pronounced merchant, right?
And
What did he say?
He called him a mercane.
he says, how does a mercane become to be the captain of a merchant vessel?
Well, he said he was in the mercantile business.
I see your origins are mysterious even to your crew. That is interesting. I'm just going to turn on something a little more like...
Stressful or less stressful?
It's gonna get real awkward if he makes me pop out of him.
Dispel magic.
I found myself stranded on the material plane a couple years ago, and I thought, why not try this sailing thing? It's so weird. There's no space to go through. You have to do it on the water. It's bizarre. Barry comes over and he whispers something in Cohen's ear. There is a second door on the second deck that my men cannot open, despite numerous efforts. Would you mind telling me what's behind that door?
He's asking us or the captain?
Is he describing the Smith's room?
He's obviously talking about this in his room. I don't know what's in there.
I'm not allowed to go in there, sir.
When doors don't open, we don't go in them on the ship.
We left the captain trapped for so long. And that door was much easier to open.
Perhaps we can all go together and solve this mystery. And he's smiling, and you notice that, like, 1, 2, 3, 4 more soldiers just coming over from their ship to yours. It'll be like a surprise. And he starts walking down the stairs, past the galley. And the door opens. As he gets down to the bottom of the stairs, the door opens in the Smith's room, and the Smith comes out. He closes the door, and he locks it behind it. And he turns to you, and you, who's been addressing the whole time. You have an axiomite first mate, and you have a mercane captain.
He keeps using words I don't recognize.
I'm very interested in how this came to be.
He's from what country? Axio?
He's just smiling. I'm thinking that perhaps this crew has not been completely honest with me. Now, I would be in good authority to, let's say, have my men slaughter your crew and blow you out of the water, and I would not lose a moment's sleep over it. But, pirate or not, my problem is not with you. It's with those that have taken what belongs to me in my country. So, as long as we can establish that's not you, there's no need to come to that. Before we go any further, is there anything you wish to do that would make my job easier? Anything you want to say?
I would like to ask if there are any tortoises on this ship.
Barry? As of yet, no tortoises. And Barry just shakes his head.
If you're looking for people that took tortoises, and we don't have tortoises,
Perhaps you killed them and made them into a stew. We're checking the food storage as well. But I'm seeing that most people aboard do not match the description, save for any points at Ernie. The singular gnome. And a singular gnome is certainly not damning evidence.
No, I understand that not a lot of us are out on the oceans, but I've seen a few.
And where did you see this gnome last?
I just mean generally speaking. I see them in ports and such. I do think there were a few on that restaurant vessel.
And that was...
The red-tailed fish, as I showed you.
No. Where in the sea did you find them?
Oh, that was before the fog.
Well, they are assuredly dead. It takes a master navigator to get through that. Time passes. Is there anything else anyone want to do in the meantime of this? As they're snooping around, they're like pulling up stuff. They're pulling people's bed sheets apart. They're looking for secret stuff. They're knocking on the walls. They're going all around.
wait, you don't have tortoises in the walls.
He just smiles. He does not give a shit.
I say, like, how much kind of commotion is going on?
Huge amounts. It's like, imagine if a SWAT team came in and started ransacking your house. Essentially, they're flipping over shit. They're moving like cabinets. They're pulling up bed frames.
Well, there's nothing I can do until you all decide that you're gonna leave, so I can repair all the damage you've done.
He like looks, and you can see like a visible like tinge of frustration. Well, thank you so much again for your compliance. And he closes his book. I have the name of your vessel. I have where you make berth. So perhaps we will meet again. If not, I do hope the waters find you peacefully. Barry, and he motions over towards Barry, who nods, and like the soldiers begin to like filter up towards the top. And they slowly begin to go to the top deck.
Did we get the name of the guy with the halberd that's just kind of standing behind them silently and scarily?
Mm-hmm. Nope, he's just been following Cohen the entire time. They haven't really paid him much attention at all. They go, and then they get there to where it's just the three originals. All the soldiers have returned to the other deck. Good tidings, Windfall. And thank you again for your cooperation. And if you hear any news, please do send word if you can. The Empire thanks you. And they pull the ladder, and you watch it unhook and then collapse back up.
Do we just send it to Starhiel? Where would we send word to?
Just send word. I'll find out.
He's so cool.
And the anger begins to raise, and they slowly begin to depart from you.
And then they shoot us.
And they sail away as they become a smaller speck in the distance, you see the captain sweating. Inside your little tiny planet,
It's really human.
it's gotten really, really humid.
She's like cozied up on that fancy
yeah,
chair.
and the turtles are like,
She's found some like fancy bejeweled fan, and it's just kind of like.
We have to map with the fans, like, gust of wind.
yep. And you suddenly are thrust. You watch as 3 giant tortoises and 1 Cordelia and 0 sandwiches are strewn about on the ship's deck.
Can I quickly just walk through the ship and see if there's any like magical sensors that have been placed or anything with detect magic? Like,
Sure.
can I sense any sort of new magic that I'm not expecting?
Nope.
Okay.
Did their entire crew get off?
Hmm?
Did
Y'all do a look by and people are pissed. Like Red Rage is like punching the walls and stuff. She's like,
Stop.
Just put a hammer in her hand. She'll figure it out.
but they're all like looking around, like checking the barrels and stuff, and looking at the mess of the kitchen, like the way they pulled the oven door off and the pots are all on the ground and stuff. It's going to take me forever to clean up. Riley's like almost in tears, and Terry's like,
Oh.
"We really let them just walk all over us like that?"
I mean, they wanted to kill us. No remorse.
Yeah, we won that. It doesn't feel like it, but we win.
They got no information from us.
Good job with that lion, Kai.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just glad we didn't have to deal with them sailing circles around us over to the cannonless side.
You can safely say that there are no more sailors from Starhiel aboard the ship.
I think kind of glancing around, Cordelia's kind of tucked in on herself and just sort of wide-eyeing everything before glancing the horizon.
Yep, that was bad. They that could have gone worse. It really could have.
Happy to see you all made it.
Yeah, he what was his name? Cohen? Cohen. He had a bit of a imposing bearing.
Does that name ring a bell? Does she recognize? She 100.
You don't
Yeah.
have to roll anything.
Okay. Yeah. You say that, and you see her. She's already been shrunk in on herself a bit, especially since everything but the island. Now she's like actively shrinking away from everyone.
Yeah.
The Blade of the Inquisition?
Everyone can roll society if they would like.
Barry seemed chill.
22.
22.
Pass.
18.
18.
20.
The name, the title is familiar. The name, you've never heard of this Cohen Minke before, but Blade of the Inquisition is the witch hunters. They are the witch hunters in Starhiel. Starhiel, they're not against magic. They're against magic that is not trained and controlled. Wizards, totally fine. You register, you go to. They have the best wizard schools in the world are in Starhiel. Like you can go there and train at some of the strongest academies ever. Clerics, oh yeah, go study magic, be divined by the temple. Sorcerers, warlocks, witches, oh no. If you have magic that cannot be registered, controlled, or come from a source that is credible, knowledgeable, they don't trust anything that isn't earned in a sense. It's seen as coming from somewhere that's not supposed to come from. So this guy is the leader of the witch hunters. Essentially, he hunts down apostates, and they go down and they hunt people that are like Cordelia.
Yeah, he seemed pretty intense. I don't think we're going to be seeing the last of him, considering he has descriptions of people that look a lot like us.
Well, I'm glad he didn't seem too keen to figure something out. I was worried we'd have to tell them we had one Lord Easton aboard, and that was why we were so unforthcoming.
Yeah, he described the people at that island. We didn't kill everybody. He made it sound like they were all dead.
You said those that survived were in a terrible state.
Yeah. We only killed 2?
Pico killed one.
Yep. And then,
I killed the other.
yep. I just wonder if we got all the full picture here.
You think maybe someone else is looking for these tortoises?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think that we know of at least one other group that's looking for the stuff that has fused with these tortoises.
The other merchants, like the captain.
Yeah, just ask Terry to give you the whole creature versus object speech.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they were that important to them that they killed the scientists for losing them.
But either way, he said our description's not
They're
someone
not.
else. If someone else had attacked them, then they would have said
Right, which means somebody had to have been alive when they got there because those descriptions didn't come from the trees.
Who all did
Unless.
they describe?
the 3 of us.
And you.
Oh. Well, they said a weird elf.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, not exactly normal.
Yeah, they think you're an elf, so that might be to your advantage. Can y'all... I didn't realize he would know that I'm a chameleon gnome right away. Can y'all tell? Do I just look like I'm a little
No.
shifty?
I just thought all gnomes were like you.
Nope. Nope, not all of them. Sometimes they just, they don't change their stuff.
Oh. Well, that
Me.
just makes you special.
Maybe
Well,
it-
if you run into another chameleon gnome, can you recognize them?
I think they're following.
Yeah, I guess so, now that you mention it. Okay.
And
Fair point.
maybe it was more of a... Your facial hair is rather distinguishing.
I can lock it down. It stops shifting.
Don't hurt yourself.
Do you have like some sort of aura that you
Oh,
could
I
detect?
meant more...
Oh, yeah. You think I should shave?
His perception seemed unusually high as he was able to identify exactly what the captain and the smith were at a glance.
Isn't he great?
Mitchum's
he's
very
very-
excited.
Stop.
He's very
Owen
good at
Menke
his
is
job.
a previous PC from Mitchum. That's why he's so excited.
Do you think I should have...
Yeah.
You think I should have changed the mutton chops before they boarded? Is that distinct?
Yeah, these crazy multicolored pork chops, mutton chops.
I don't know who Lemmy Kilmeister is, but I know that hairstyle's named after him.
Well, okay. We're done with them for now. What do we do with the turtles now?
The captain turns and he says, I don't see any reason to kill them if we don't need to make our getaway, so congrats. Keep them well. They're your mascots, they're your friends. But if
We
we
put
do
off
not
Myrtle
find,
for one more day.
If we do not find the 5 things I need to solve my problem, I'm going to use these 3 to supplement that.
All right, so we
There's
need
3 of the 5, or there are 5 additional?
we need
3 of the 5.
we need between 2 and 5 is what you're telling
We need
me.
between 2 and 5 thingies.
Yes.
And then all of our problems will be solved, I promise.
Those
When the others aren't
stellar
guaranteed to be
thingies.
tortoises as well.
Well, I mean, Captain,
All tortoises.
you've told us a bit at this point. Like, is there anything you can tell us that might help us find more?
Unfortunately, I know that they are isolated to the Sleeping Sea specifically. It's where I crash, so to speak. I know that we have less than a month before my associates find us. So sailing time is something to consider here.
Whenever I did that check on the fog, you said for flavor. I'm not sure if it was flavor.
I said it might be.
It could be caused
It,
by
yeah, I
one
think
of them.
the crew understands at this point that these pieces of this vessel, it's a meteor, we can just say that now at this point, that the captain came to this world on, is causing weird shit. Like magic's just unbound within it. So this weird fog that teleported you sounds a little bit weird because if you remember,
Oh yeah, there was a teleporting one.
at the Ocelin, they mentioned a weird fog, and then suddenly they were on the island, right?
Oh
yeah.
So it's similar to that. I hate to just like bring up like. All the,
Yeah.
like,
Do I suspect that like because I got like a critical identification on it, and you said that it could be from that. Is that
It's
something that I
almost-
suspect that something?
I would
down
say
there?
Brooks with that is almost guaranteed to be a piece down there.
Okay. So I think
We
that
need a
one of the fog.
submersible?
Yeah, I think that one of the pieces could be below that fog.
That seems like a hard one to get.
Yeah,
Especially because the fog just.
appears.
And you did see the fog dissipating, so maybe it waxes and wanes, or maybe it's gone completely. You're not sure, but you can't see it on the horizon where you sailed from.
Right.
It might just show up in
Mhm.
places.
Do
I
you
mean,
think your actual crash spot might have some sort of? Oh, you crashed in the. So there's no like.
There's another part of this problem. When I borrowed this vessel, there are things that are attracted
It's
to...
Stole? It's beginning to sound a lot like stole.
I fucking stole it. Yes! I'm a merchant from space. I stole it, okay?
Okay.
I went to the city of Brass and I stole it.
I just needed to hear you say it.
Do you feel better?
I do. So, there are things not of this world. And there are things out in the astral plane which are very attracted. Brooks, you've seen this. To these vessels. I lured one here and used it years ago to help some friends with a world-ending problem. That thing is now loose, and it's my fault. It would be like the space equivalent of
War crime.
war crime's not strong enough.
Uh-oh.
Extinction event. I did a bad. There's
That doesn't sound strong enough.
It sounds like you got to put 2 quarters in the oopsie jar.
The oopsie jar has been filled for some time, and I'm just trying to get out. I'll be frank with you. It's expression. He says to Wesley, who thinks now the captain's name is Frank.
I was beginning to think. You just told me that he's a merchant from space.
Both the coalition that my race belongs to, and
Mercantiles.
The merchants.
we're called Mercane. I'm a Mercane. Thank you. Both we and the Prince of Ashes, the Lord of the City of Brass, are not very happy with what I've done. I have no way to make this right. There is no barter I can make. There is no trade. There's no plea I can make to make this right. My only option is to run. And I'm asking you to help me run.
And what happens if we can't run fast enough?
An extinction event?
Like, the entire plane?
I think it's best if I'm not on your world anymore.
Then we should find these pieces.
I'm
Okay. You got any leads?
I might be able to help. I mean, I was able to communicate with Claudius once before.
Okay. You think he knows where they are? Since he is
I
one?
mean,
You knew where it
he's-
came from.
He knew where he came from. He knew a lot. And maybe he might know where the rest are. Or at least I can try.
It's better than all the other plans.
Yeah, even if you could see things, if you could see just something about other weird shit they're causing, I might be able to plot a few points on the map and look for the center.
All right, little buddy.
So you're going to talk. So you pull up Claudius, who has the agate eyes. This tortoise, this huge, something like 400+ pound, beautiful shell, this swirling red and brown, almost marbled like gemstone. His eyes the same. As you approach, his neck just raises tall and looks at you. Those stone eyes staring directly into you. What are you gonna do with Claudius?
Do you mind if we try this again? And I'll sit down in front of him and do join pasts
Okay.
again.
All right. Rejoin pass for me again.
You touch the target's forehead, you bring them into mental communion. The target can share thoughts, experiences, but not words. When one target attempts to recall knowledge, the other can aid.
Interesting.
Let's see.
So he could basically give her advantage on recall knowledge.
Yeah. What I'll let you do is, with this spell, I'm going to let you use Claudius's ability, which is to cast augury, and you gain a vague glimpse of the future, and you're asked about the results of a specific location. So I'm going to pull up the map real quick. And I'm going to let you decide, as you gaze into Claudius's eyes and you mind meld with him, you watch that splitting, the prismatic split of the meteor falling down into the sleep. You see hundreds of thousands of pieces, some of them burning up to nothing, but the other stones staying strong, landing, energy like spreading and like boiling into these other different pieces, all these strange events surrounding them and changing what's happening around. And as you do, I'm gonna let you pull up the map. Can you see the map?
Yep.
All right. Ask about a location in the map, and he will tell you whether or not the results will be good or bad to find a piece there. King of Rejects, thanks for coming on by.
The closest
Appreciate it.
island is
As she's doing that,
immediately west.
Kai has gone down below decks and brought the map back up, and is basically dropping pins wherever something strange has happened. So for the fog, the ghost ship, the island where we saw the Erdofan, and is basically just like listening to what she's saying, ready to put more pins in.
Okay.
Where have we been?
We've been this bit, and
Okay.
now we're here.
Yeah,
So
we're in
I'm
the
gonna
middle.
ask about the great big island that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
D2.
D2, the
centered,
big
that
island?
big one.
So the closest one to us west-wise.
Yeah.
You get an image of this sort of, it almost looks like an amphitheater, an old ruin with this tiers, and it landing straight in the center of that, on that island. As it sort of zooms in, you can see the shape of the island as it closes in and closes in. You can see the trees, the soft sands of the beaches, the rocky sort of terrain building up to this crumbling old ruin. This long, think almost like Roman-style arches circling around, multi-tiered, and an amphitheater-like stone seating around it. And the stone landing straight in the middle. There's definitely a piece of that large island.
Another turtle has appeared.
Another turtle.
I would love if they were just all turtles. Like, how lucky is that?
How lucky indeed.
All right.
Turtles all the way down.
Can I continue to ask him, or is it a one and done for like the day sort of situation?
It's one and done.
Because I would imagine. I know last time it was very taxing to try and piece that
You
together.
like feel this strain, and he kind of like waddles backwards as much as he can, and you also kind of like collapse backwards as.
Yeah,
It's like
she's
broken.
just laying on the deck staring up, and her eyes are still kind of glazed over as she's describing everything about the island and what she saw and where it was, specific to the stone amphitheater as it's like fading from her vision.
It is on, and I'll be more specific for you. I'll pull the map again. you see between those two lakes on C3, exactly there. So it's at the top of that specific island.
That seems like the next
Okay.
spot.
How are our supplies?
We basically didn't lose any getting here because we kept up along the coast, and then the fog got us here so quick we only lost like a day.
We have 5 days at least, and a few of the animals that Pico left behind.
Well, those will last the longest. Let's save them.
Well, there's no time like the present. I don't want to be here in case that Starhiel ship decides they have a few more questions. I say we get moving.
Raise the anchor.
Yep.
Raise anchor. And as we raise anchor, we're going to go ahead and take our break, y'all. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Thank you so much to everyone hanging out, everyone lurking. We're going to take a really quick little bathroom break, and we'll be right back in about 10 minutes to set sail and move on from this scene.
What
All right.
will happen next?
What will happen next? All right, we'll be right back, y'all. We will be right back.
See you soon.
And we are back!
I'm
The scared
nervous.
go.
One day, I will have a group of people that whenever I say that we're live or that we're back, they won't just do the weirdest shit possible.
Well,
I don't know what to do.
It
It's not this
It won't be us.
Yeah. I hope you have fun with those new friends you make.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to my channel. Anyone that would like to replace these players, please just hit me up on Discord. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like your character's gonna be dead. You guys are gonna need more time.
Just
Oh.
a little birthday boy.
All right.
Just taking a sabbatical.
And let's get back into it. So, before the break, the party made a plan to very quickly disguise themselves and to make deception as the ship from Starhiel came in. They quickly put the tortoises and Cordelia into the captain's pocket dimension.
Chest.
Into his
chest. And then they managed to, after a thorough ransacking of the Windfall, convince the Blade of Inquisition, Cohen Menke, a very dangerous individual, that there were no tortoises here. With the forged records and with Kai's amazing deception, despite feeling that someone was off, the ship departed and there was no confrontation at that moment.
At that moment.
We draw back into the Windfall now. I will tell you guys this, just for the transparency for folks at home. We did a sailing encounter roll before stream started today so that I could prepare it. So they did roll. They rolled a 24, but you're not going to see that live. Just to let you guys know, I didn't want to fake a roll or anything. They did roll before the session started around this morning.
No laugh so far. 25.
Nick, thanks for the lurk, my dude, and thank you so much for the sub, buddy. Okay, anyone can just shout out? Actually, I can do it real quick.
Pays his books.
Go check out Nick McNoise.
Thanks
Go check
for
him out,
creating
guys.
the platform for. I mean,
He
buying
makes
the platform.
he plays music, he plays Elden Ring, he plays Hunt Showdown. He's an all around really good dude. Go check him out. Good friend of the channel. All right, y'all ready to get back into it?
Yes.
So
I rolled a 24.
He was the one that made
I
the
did roll it before stream.
all right,
Curious.
curious.
I didn't roll a 24.
Well, Brooks is gonna go and try and make sure everything's okay because they just
Everything
tore
is
a bunch
not
of shit.
okay. There's boards out of place. There's sacks like torn asunder, barrels ripped open, crates like supplies are on the ground. Like they had no caution whatsoever. Like things are upturned. Even the captain's cabin, the bed's flipped over. The windows, shutters are like torn off. Like they were looking.
You know, I was gonna take quick sort, but I didn't. So I guess I'll shoot this by hand.
Tomorrow I can have mending.
So he's going to just like all the broken crates and stuff. He's going to take those boards and try and like use them to kind of just reinforce some stuff.
Marinth, you can hear the jangling of her bracelets. This is the blind, crone-like goblin who is the other bosun aboard the ship, the other same rank as you. And she walks over. Usually she has this cocky sort of laugh, this sort of like snide, sarcastic attitude, and she walks over, and like without a word, she like picks up some nails and begins hammering back together. Starts cleaning up scraps. Starts putting stuff together. It's not right. Not right the way they treat people.
It's not. But not much we can do about that.
There's not much more words said, but she just kind of nods and gets back to work. There's this dour feeling all over the crew. It's there. You can verify it just from the looks on their faces. Even Terry is just sadly like pulling up ropes and fixing the main line. You can see Cass is like absolutely got her hat pulled down. She's like over the maps, like brooding, looking over them. Mr. Darrow is at the helm again, just stoically pulling it, making sure you're on course. The captain is in his cabin, and you can hear him just sort of harumphing as he picks up things.
Like I say boo-hooing, like woohoo.
He's woohooing?
Boo-hooing. Like crying.
Oh, boo-hooing. Okay.
Woohoo!
I thought you said woohoo! With whom?
He's just crying.
Himself.
Yeah, just kind of,
We did it! Woohoo!
A little sadder. Woohoo. Okay. So, the day continues, and it begins to fade to evening, and most of the ship's been cleaned up at this point. Several hours have passed before I moved anything forward. Did anyone have anything they want to accomplish in those couple of hours?
I'm gonna go find Frederick.
Okay.
How are you holding up? The guards didn't rough you up at all?
I think that my appearance, and he's like still very gaunt, very sunken in the eyes. They shoved me. They overturned my stuff, but I said I was stranded at sea. You picked me up. The young-looking one with the blonde curls. He was asking questions, but he seems sufficiently happy with my answers.
I don't suppose I could convince you to sing to the crew a bit. Their spirits are way down. This is worse than Pickle Day.
Picklegate.
Roll diplomacy. Don't forget, everyone has a...
Yeah.
do it again.
I got a 0 in that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do it again.
Everyone has a hero point for coming back from break. What?
Did you?
No,
No, I came close. I'm gonna, you know what? We gotta try for it.
You got a hero
We gotta
point.
try for it. We're gonna spend the hero point already.
You only need to nudge it by 1.
You're shitting me. No. Verify that.
It's a natural 20. I just went 19 to 20.
He just used a hero point on a natural 19 to get the 20 and got
Are
it.
you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Oh my
And
god.
natural.
This man can't be stopped.
I'll teach you how to play cards later if you sing
Yeah.
for them.
I just 20'd you in chat because I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
I cannot.
What am I if I don't have the purpose to sing? You've done so much. Let me try. And he goes to the top deck, and you can see him looking nervous. And he breathes. His dark brown hair starts flowing in the wind a little bit. He steadies his feet, and you can see everyone's like looking at him, and he's just kind of like standing there. And his voice starts to open up, and I don't have a shanty ready for this, but let me
Go into your mind palace and find one.
I have many, but I'm trying to find one that fits the right mood. And he tries to he sings something not serene and peaceful like he did last time when you found him, but instead he comes out with a force, with a drive, this energy, this ire almost, this idea that, yes, we are down on our luck. Yes, we've been bullied and kicked down, but we will push forward. Now we are ready to sail for the Horn. And you hear him like call it out, and it like reverberates out. And then you hear Mr. Darrow at the helm. Way, hey, roll and go. And then you hear Frederick once more. Our boots and our clothes, boys, are on the pond to be rollicking randy dandy o. And you can hear like from below Riley's voice rising up. Heave Apollo, heave away. And soon the entire crew starts to join in. And as they do, the motions of their bodies begin to pull with the ship. You can see them hoisting the line, scrubbing the deck, nailing in boards. Even below, you can hear people in the bottom deck singing, and just maybe in the captain's cabin, calling a line. Way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables are stored to be rollicking randy dandy o. And then it just continues as they go, and there's this new drive to the Windfall. And Frederick just like lets the song overtake him as his eyes are closed, and you can see tears rolling down his eyes. Soon we'll be warping her out through the locks. Way, hey, roll and go, where the pretty young girls all come down in flocks to be rollicking randy dandy. And it sort of fades there. And the whole ship is now just like have this new energy over them. And the Windfall makes great time as it presses forward. Kind of take a hero point for that. He looks at you, Frederick. If I'm being honest, I did not think I still had that in me. Thank you.
Join us for cards tonight.
I think I will. Scotty, up in the crow's nest. Raise sails! Raise sails! Slow her down, boys! And you see, just as the ship was picking up speed, she's calling for the sails to be rolled up to slow speed.
Bad timing.
Everyone, roll perception check for me, real quick.
Let's do it. Oh,
I'm below in the galley, so
Mhm.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Shelventine.
Yo, roll one off.
Is that 3 or an 8? 17.
17?
19.
13.
29.
Oh.
29. Ernie, you're the first over the edge to go and see it. Circling
See over the edge.
You can see seagulls in a circle, floating around and around and around the tip of something. First, you think a spire, an iceberg. No, it is the tip of a ship. A shipwreck lies right before you. Slow her down, boys. You hear Mr. Darrow saying, and you pull up right in the side of an upturned ship. Turn the music to something a little more normal.
You gotta wonder if these are some people that weren't as obliging to the search from Starhiel.
With your very high perception roll, you can see the ship has been here for a hot minute. It is not recent. The way that it's floating out of the ocean here is kind of like just the way that it's lodged, maybe on something, or just the way that it's floating. The fact that it hasn't sunk is kind of weird. Maybe it's just the tip of it is buoyant, but you can see it's not the entire ship.
Guys, I don't know if there's going to be much in the way of survivors, but there sure will be some salvage. Let's see if we can't get some people together.
Usual suspects?
Yeah,
Do we trust them at this time?
I think we should go ourselves. I'm not going to send Terry overboard.
He's not ready.
Make ready the skiff.
The skiff is made ready, and it's lowered down. Although they just throw a ladder on the side, like we're in the big ship. You can just go off the big ship.
Thought we might need to load something up.
Yeah, no. It's loaded. Terry stops questioning you. The skiff is lowered down, and all of you peer down. You don't have to make a perception check because it is extremely evident. Swimming all around you. You see maybe half a dozen, maybe a little bit more, sharks. Big ones. Hunter sharks. They are just sort of not minding you, but they are just around the wreckage, sort of like in almost like a video game sort of loop. They're just going in like a little path around this area. They go beneath the Windfall, they come back, but they're staying in this area. I need everyone to either roll nature or society. The society DC is higher.
Well, good thing we know that in real life sharks don't really attack people unless...
Right,
Oh.
but this is my world. Everything attacks people.
It's 2 2s in a row. I think I'm gonna move on to the next one.
It's not
Let's hear
bad.
it. And tell me if it's nature or society.
Nature 17.
Nature 17, nothing.
Society 21.
21, society, nothing.
Nature 19.
Nothing. Sharks. They're fucking sharks, y'all.
That's weird.
Is it though?
I don't
Sharks.
want. I don't want them to eat us.
But should we get some shark meat while we're eating?
I mean, if you want to try to hunt one.
Well, let's not antagonize the
What a
sharks.
bomb!
We're gonna need a bigger ship.
You want some sharks? I pull out a bomb.
They're like, when I say the sharks, like they're getting like really close to the surface, like almost you could reach in and touch one. They are also not aggressive. They don't seem to have like moved towards you at all. The sharks, upon another glance, you don't know because you don't know what specific brand of shark what specific brand of shark this is.
What flavor of shark?
They are not.
I'm trying to find
They're not
out.
hammerhead.
This
but
one's Mesquite Barbecue.
they have this bulbous front of their head that moves into almost like a hook, and their eyes jut out a little bit, almost in hammerhead like style, but it doesn't quite extend out on the big hammerhead part.
Goofy looking sharks.
Delicious bacon sharks. They would be goofy looking if the fin wasn't there to complement it, so it makes it look more like an arrowhead than it does like this goofiness. Their eyes that you can see are jutting out a little bit. Like if you look at them dead on, they're very goofy looking, like. But from the side, they look like sleek. It's like when you look at an eagle from the front and an eagle at the side, like majestic, powerful, and then. Their eyes are completely glazed over and grayed and doled out.
Oh, they're blind. Perfect.
I would recommend maybe not agitating them until we're done looking.
I just like yank one out of the water.
I've never been so happy for everyone to fail a group of checks before.
Yeah, something's weird here, but I still want the stuff.
Yeah.
So,
We'll just be careful.
yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see how much we can, like, stay in the skiff.
I'm going to let you go ahead and use your 29. So, to stay in the skiff, there is exactly one piece of salvage. You can see the ship has broken off in chunks. And I'm going to go ahead and reveal this to everyone else too. The ship has broken off in chunks. Let's call this the Windfall right here. Not my official mini that I have for it, but it's the one that I have right now. And then the ship is broken off in chunks. This is the closest piece of wreckage you can see. This is not distance, this is depth. So when you look at this, as I go further down, this is not farther away from you, this is deeper in the water.
Make sure you have
You
your
can
aquatic
see
combat.
4
see.
big chunks and hundreds of pieces of debris. You can make out chests, crates, floating like pieces of splinted wood. You can also see floating around what looks like a cloud of gold pieces, like suspended in the water, like floating in like a bubble, essentially. Maybe magical, maybe just it got caught in one of the weird bubble undercurrents. There are 3 pieces. One, you could hop in the water like it was a swimming pool, go over, grab it, and go. You'd only have to deal with the sharks getting through those. The deeper you go, the more obscured it gets. You cannot make the details of anything. The only reason you know that there's a chunk at the very bottom, which you will know is the captain's cabin, is because you can see the big, massive shadow of it at the bottom, like deep.
All right, everybody.
And
I just got a good look at this, and we getting wet.
She takes her sweater off, and you can still see, because since this morning, you can still see like the tattooed Imris across her shoulders as she takes her little sweater off and her scarf and starts tucking it away.
So, how do we go about doing this?
All right, here's the plan. The 5 of us. All right, what were you gonna say, Wesley?
I was going to say we hold our breath and jump.
Okay, great.
Well, that works for
That was
you.
my plan too. The 5 of us, we all tie a rope around our waist. We each pick our favorite crew member to stand at the top on the ship to pull us out if we get in trouble. When each of us got a spotter, and once we get salvage, we yank on the rope and our crewmate pulls us out. Or if we start getting eaten by a shark.
Basically, if there's a lot of jostling on the...
Yeah, pick somebody that has some discretion.
She's kind of squinting at you, and she's like,
Yeah.
you do realize just about the only person on the ship I trust is in this boat, outside of Riley, and I don't think she can lift me. Well, maybe she could.
You're not that heavy.
I think literally the only people who could lift me on this ship are right here. And then
All right,
maybe the captain in the first
You can
mate.
pick both powder monkeys.
I don't think that's
I don't
even-
think that's
I do have my rope of climbing. That's 50 feet long.
Feels like cheating, but we'll use it.
Well,
I also have 50 extra feet.
Is that a rope of swimming?
I mean, I'm just going to throw this out here. Wesley is probably the best equipped to hold his breath and go down there. We could stay on and pull him out.
Okay.
Boy, I wish we'd had a rest.
Right.
If we had a rest, I feel like we'd
yeah.
all be able to breathe underwater.
We'll just make camp here.
on the skiff.
I mean, there's nothing stopping me from sleeping on the ship right here.
It is also getting late. Maybe in the morning, or light.
And let these sharks prepare. There's nothing.
If we can arrest the sharks too,
No,
too.
no.
There's nothing worse than a shark with prep time.
Oh my god, all these sharks have 6 levels in wizard.
It happened so fast.
They got their stealth slots back.
I don't know about the
Each
rest.
shark asked me a riddle before I can cast it up.
I don't know about the rest of you, but the beautiful bird women, Ernest,
Yeah.
did kind of a number, and she's gesturing to her head, and you can still see there's like a healing split in her head, but it's still there.
Look, if y'all want to sleep before, I'm just saying, sometimes you wake up and the sharks have spent all the money.
What would they buy?
Maybe they're just like hoarding it. That octopus had a lot of money. He didn't seem interested in.
Yeah, the sea creatures tend to keep the gold in place. We've seen this many a time.
All right, quick vote. Who wants to sleep?
I'm 50-50. Literally, I have 50% of my HP.
That sounds like a yes. All right, we're going to drop anchor here. We'll burn the extra supplies. First thing in the morning, we jump in the water.
Okay.
I mean, we've been
Should
burning them
fine.
for travel
Make sure.
anyways, but
Get a spotter and make sure this doesn't
Terry.
disappear in the middle of the night.
Terry, come over here.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on this stuff. I want a full write-up of the sharks' movement patterns. It's just a bunch of circles, Terry. I need you to get like a stopwatch or something.
Do you have one of those?
Nope.
I need a stopwatch! Quartermaster's orders! Terry goes to grab a stopwatch. Kai, I do apologize.
Hmm?
You absolutely should have had fortune in this role because of your background as the Islander. I would like you to re-roll your nature check, please.
Mm-hmm.
These sharks do have wizard levels.
No, they have shaman levels.
Oh.
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
I was half expecting.
Then my fears are abated. I gave you.
Ample
You did give me a hero point. But you gave me
already had
fortune.
fortune.
You already gave me fortune.
Yeah, you already
fortune.
fortune effect, so you can only find
I
one.
want fortunate fortune.
Oh,
All right, so who's keeping watch? Terry.
Terry's watching the sharks.
and only
Alright.
Terry.
Terry's watching the sharks. Mr. Darrow's watching Terry.
Okay.
And we're resting.
And we're resting.
Okay.
I don't want to miss out on the treasure.
All right. Let me repeat that for me. You said Terry's watching the sharks.
Yep.
I mean, that's
Mr.
important.
Darrow's watching Terry,
Yep.
and
Who's
you're all
watching
resting.
Mr.
We're
Darrow?
all resting.
Awesome. That's what I need to hear.
I'll try to wake up as soon as possible. Enjoying the most.
So how long are y'all sleeping? Like
The minimum requirement.
6 hours or
Long
whatever?
rest.
Yeah, I think 6 is the minimum.
Okay.
Why can't I scroll?
Uh-oh.
How many chomps? How many chomps?
Oh no.
Well, but Sean.
When it got dark, I couldn't see very well, so I got in the water so I could see better.
The sharks
I
are
could
just
crack
climbing
into
up
the
the side of
surface
the
with my
boat.
blood.
You
Oh,
say
God,
that,
what?
but
Oh no. Yeah, you say that, but I don't like the way you said that.
I need everyone to roll perception at misfortune because you're sleeping.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna
I actually
use
got
a-
that. Hey, that natural 20 came back
if
again,
I
but it
use
didn't
a
matter
hero
because
point,
misfortune.
is
I
it
rolled the
just a
same thing
straight
twice
roll?
in a row.
You can
so-
use a fortune effect on it, so it's a straight roll.
Okay.
You don't roll twice.
Didn't help.
Man, I rolled a natural 19 too.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 20, and
No.
but it wasn't the one.
15.
15.
22.
1 second, gotta double check. I think it's 20. Yeah, it's 20. I got 20.
18.
13.
15. Wesley's the only person. Wesley, where were you sleeping at?
Probably the crow's nest. I probably went up there because I wanted to like just hop down and jump into the.
Okay, I'll describe this to you then. You hear quarterback, and you watch as you wake up and peer over the crow's nest. You see, I don't have NPC minis.
Oh shoot!
What looks like
I guess we don't need it for long.
a
Huh?
giant sort of humanoid shark
You were
man
right.
with green skin crawl over the side of the boat. As Terry lets out his cry, it immediately takes out a dagger and just slices Terry across the throat.
Terry!
Blood sprays all across it.
Save Terry!
As the blood is going, Terry's reaching for his saber at his side, and you watch as he does this. The blood, you can see it form a sort of a mist, and the thing's eyes just begin to deepen red.
Oh, no, it's
And
a
it just
frenzy.
claws Terry, and blood sprays back. Terry collapses. Mr. Darrow draws his sword. Roll initiative.
Alright, I guess my spells are what I've prepped so far.
No, not you guys. You are asleep.
Oh.
Oh.
It is just Wesley.
Terry didn't scream
I
with
can
his
still
full
prep
chest.
spells!
I didn't
I'm
hear
using
it.
your point.
That's unfortunate.
Better, but I wish it was higher.
All right, and I don't have a mini for Terry right now,
Why are these grayed out still?
or Mr. Darrow.
You have to hit the rest button.
Anyone have a
I did,
second?
though. Do I have
My
to hit it
cabinet
again?
that has the
Yeah,
minis,
do
you
it.
know. Grab a Terry and a Mr.
No,
Darrow
sorry.
looking mini. It
That's
should be
weird.
pretty easy to find.
Yeah, give me that. Sorry, chat. I probably just dropped that mic.
Maybe a couple extra sailors. Yeah, sorry for the
yeah.
sound, guys. I'm in a very emotional moment right now.
Now let me scroll.
All right, Wesley, initiative.
21. I did not.
I'll give Terry a hero point, sure. 21.
Is that all of them?
Didn't roll very high.
Yeah,
Oh.
this is the bottom of them.
Okay,
Oh, I see.
you have initiative here, Wesley.
I don't
All
know
right.
why
Well, I
it's
guess my
Mr.
first
Darrow's
step
after
is
I just
you.
need to see
it
the
needs
rest
to
of
make
mine.
a DC 15. Wait, how high is the crow's nest?
How high are crow's nests typically? Like 60 feet, right?
I have no idea.
For our ship?
It's tall.
For our
Great.
ship,
it's
yeah.
really tall.
Okay. Well, instead of that, I'm
Hang
gonna.
on, I'm gonna look this up. For a brigantine, about 30 feet. About 30 feet, yeah. We'll call it 30.
Did you give Terry a hero point?
I'm not a master yet, so instead of that, I'm
Terry's my
gonna.
boy.
I'm just gonna I guess like grabbing my kukri, like slide down and land behind the creature.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll for that.
Terry.
Your athletics.
Is that sharp? Are you gonna hurt your hand?
32.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you're fine. You
Wow,
leave with
panache.
Waha.
Okay.
And then I get some half
Other people. Yeah, we might need these. Thank you so much. All right, so Terry is on the ground dying.
I wanted to like land between it and the board because I want to attempt to shove it
Over the
towards-
side?
yeah, towards the railing.
Okay.
So
Do I roll?
It's my athletics versus their
Let's go for it.
fortitude.
And this
so
one is the.
I have a plus 15 to the roll.
Go for it.
That's gonna be a 31.
Against his fortitude save.
Yes.
23. That's a success. It splashes into the water as you push it away from Terry. As it splashes, you see it burbling. I'm gonna give this for free, no action needed. You see dark shapes looming in the water. And at first you think it's the sharks, and indeed the sharks are swimming around, but bubbling up at the surface, you see not one, not two, but 4 small shadows in the water on the side of the ship.
And then I guess like my last action would be a call out as I cup my hands and scream, "All swords on deck!"
All right, as you scream, you're able to get a full scream out. Everyone wakes up and needs to roll initiative as you hear all swords on deck.
Oh my.
What if we don't use swords?
Wait, I just
Then
rolled
go
a
back to
Then
sleep.
you go to sleep, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just my way of saying
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
Actually,
but-
Yeah, being facetious.
I'm just being a smartass.
doing hero point.
All right, let's hear them. 35 to 30.
One moment. Okay, carry on.
35 to 30. Okay. 30 to 25.
I got a 28.
Okay, Brooks. And then we're gonna have.
I was at 21.
Of course, I'm not even wearing my freaking armor.
Um,
It takes a minute.
everyone else.
21.
Oof.
15?
Okay.
14.
Light armor, right?
Really, guys?
No.
All right,
Yeah,
everyone.
armor's
Just give me
not
everyone
complete,
else.
so I'm
So
gonna-
you had 14.
15.
I had 14.
All
He had 14.
Kai,
I probably wasn't.
Ernie. Everyone else. I got Cordelia. Wesley, you were where were you at, Wesley?
21.
Initiative 21.
Yep.
So you should be right
You should be
here.
above me. Because there's no way
All right,
quicker than
Cordelia,
him.
you hear all swords on deck.
I'd shout for Riley to look after Chris, and then I'm gonna run up there.
Try to get the camera in a place where I can see everything. There we go.
And I guess the only thing I see when I get on deck
Is
is a
Wesley standing over a Terry, bloody throat, and he has a big chunk missing out of his chest as well.
I'd be like looking intently at the water. So
I would imagine it was 2 to get me up to the top of the deck.
Yes, two moves. So stride, and you have 1 action left.
We love that.
Do something cool.
I can, unless I've got 2 actions. Hold on. Wait, maybe I can. Am I up next to?
You're adjacent to Mr. Darrow and Wesley.
But I'm not adjacent to.
No, you're 10 feet away from Terry.
unfortunate.
Love that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll stride again.
Okay.
And I'll just kind of like she's grabbing Terry essentially to next turn heal him.
Okay, so you want to get on this side of him, like right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, really?
You got it. All right, you're right next to Terry. All right, after Cordelia, it's their turn. You hear this horrifying gurgle in Aquan.
Oh.
Anyone on deck speak Aquan?
Yeah.
Yup.
Blood has been spilled. Blood has been spilled. Feast, feast, kill, kill.
They're just muttering like almost this ravenous feeling. They can hear them going into this sort of like frenzy and begin to claw the walls, even though they are some sort of humanoid creatures. They move like bestial move. They look like they are shark people, but with spines and spikes of this green skin. These long, not frog-like, but almost fish-like faces that jut out with these sharp teeth, and they claw their way up, wearing these strange scattered leather loincloths and mismatched armors of metal. They have pronged swords and rusted daggers as they climb up the sides of the ship. So they're just going to use 2 actions to get up. 1, 2. This one's going to get 1, 2. 1, 2. And then 1, 2.
Out for blood.
All right.
Looking a little.
So, as they are up, the big one, it's not his turn yet, so he's in the water still. All right. So, as they are there, they are going to move in and just... They just see Terry bleeding on the ground, and they are just like... You can see red in their eyes. This blood, like these red veins come in their eyes. Their muscles are surging. You can see them like literally shaking at the smell of his blood. So what's going to happen now is each... Okay, they're going to move in, and they're going to start to make some attacks. So this one right here pulls out this like long trident, and then goes to stab Wesley with it. Even from that distance, it seems he can make that attack.
That's the big one doing that?
No,
The big one is in the water.
15 misses you. It pierces out, and you manage to duck out of the side of it. This other one, these 2 right here, as they surround you, you can see them with their bare claws sharped into talons, and they just make a pair of strikes against you.
Hello, boys.
22 versus AC.
That is.
Okay, that is going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Oh.
It usually does.
It do. That's going to be 7 slashing.
Okay.
You do all have your rest, by the way.
Yes.
Okay.
God. Do you think they would attack things indiscriminately? That's bleeding.
All right, and then the other one went for a slash as well with his
Cuts on
claws at
ourselves,
you.
or we put cuts on the other crew members.
Ooh, that might not hit. 18 versus AC.
Does not hit.
So that one goes to strike you and doesn't quite make it. This one over here at the very end, he is going to go ahead and he is going to take his spear, and he's looking at you. You see they each have made a claw attack. So one's striking at you, you dodge the other one, and this one's just like aiming, and then it throws its spear at you. A hook spear like you see people use for fishing. And it flies out at you, and it's a 21 versus AC.
That is exactly my AC.
And lands in your sides. It pierces into you. For 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Alright, that's their turn. Alright, this emotional music is not quite doing it, so let's turn on the regular battle. And then... Still my favorite. Alright, that's going to bring us to the big one's turn.
Big one.
Alright, the big boy. He is going to go ahead as a free action, enter his blood frenzy,
Oh no.
because he did in fact bleed Terry. So you can see him let out this horrifying gurgle as the blood surges within him, his eyes rolling back in his head, his muscles surging, the red veins popping in his body. He's going to gain some temp HP. And he's going to gain some bonuses to damages and attacks. Alright,
Did you not press?
he is going to now stride. Well, not stride, he's going to climb. And he's going to pop up, burst out of the water right next to Wesley. You can see him holding the trident in one hand, but then as he goes to strike you with it, he instead turns and just swings a big claw at you in a wide sweep. And that's going to give him an extra damage with his claws because of his blood rage. Natural 19.
It's probably a crit.
33.
Oh, that is a crit.
That's not a crit?
No, so that is a crit.
Okay, that's a crit.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Rough start.
I mean, it would be a crit even if I was wearing my armor.
I rolled a 1 for damage, so let's see what that ends up as. So that's 1. He gets +4 just for being in the blood frenzy, so that's 5. Plus 6 is going to be 11. Double it to 22. That's a minimum damage you can roll on a crit.
Oh, no.
Alright. it just brings the blade, the fingernails up into Wesley's skin and just Easton's skin and like tears up as the blood sprays down out of you. All right,
East Wesley.
Kai.
22 minimum damage sounds about right. Okay, so
On a
Kai-
crit.
That sounds about right. That's about what I can do. So yeah, Kai runs up from his bunk below decks, which you said that takes about 2 strides.
Yes, 2 strides
Okay.
from where you guys are to get to the deck.
2 strides.
It took them two actions to get in. It takes you guys 2 actions to get in. Everyone that wasn't present.
Strictly speaking, my Horizon Walker dedication increases my travel speed by +10.
You can get there in 1 stride.
Excellent.
As a
We love
Horizon
that. So Kai runs up from below decks.
All right. As you get up, Mr. Darrow is adjacent to you by the ladder that goes up. The stairs that go down are currently like you get up, but it's occupied right there by the big guy. So like this is the stairs up that he's standing right next to, right there. So you see this huge one. Cthulhu Kitty, if you look at the little eggs in the bottom left of your chat, the little eggsies, you can click those, and it'll tell you all the different things you can do to interact with the party. There's lots of fun little rewards in there, and we love you guys to use them. So please influence the party as much as you can. We love it.
In our favor, please.
No. Add a monster. Add a monster.
Please.
Please don't.
Please don't.
You thought he was the big one?
All right, Kai, what are you going to do? You have 2 actions left.
There's always a
2
bigger
actions
fish.
left.
We're gonna need a bigger
It's
boat.
striking time.
All right. With the Giselle?
Yeah, with the Giselle. He's right in front of me.
Mhm.
We're doing a spell strike. Let's go. Okay. It's going to be a 31 to hit.
31?
Yeah.
He has -2 AC because of his blood rage. That is a crit.
We love that! Let's go! Okay.
Let's see. Roasty toasty fish boy.
So we're up to, let's see, deadly d12s. Plus the striking. Oh, and then this thing's gonna be a crit. Oh my god, I'm just gonna double this. And then this is the extra one from deadly. Okay, double that please.
So this is 34, 46.
Uh-huh. Okay, so 46 piercing damage.
Okay.
And here comes the spell strike.
Yes.
I rolled almost max
obliterate.
damage.
That was just
Yeah.
the piercing,
That
so
was
now,
just the
now
gun.
the shocking grass comes out.
Okay, that's
Which is
the
awesome.
second
I'm going to
level
need you to
shocking
narrate
grasp.
this to me.
Yeah, one second. Hold on, let me.
Of course.
You add modifiers to that?
You
too?
freaking shotgun it in the face.
No, guns don't have modifiers like that. It's deadly, so instead it increases on the crit. Okay. So we got. This is going to be 15 plus, because crit. Yeah, that's correct. Another. Wow, I rolled kind of low on these though. So 15 plus.
Yeah, you're not doing that
21,
damage.
24, 29. Something right? Yep. And then 29 points of lightning damage.
Freaking
A
shotgun.
singular strike!
Shotgun to the face.
So, Kai, you want to take it or you want me to take it?
So Kai basically runs up, and he's seeing that the Mr. Darrow's obviously blocking the thing, but he can basically just see this hulking sea creature over the edge of the thing. Basically hops up, propping himself against the side of the thing, slings the gun directly into the side of the thing's face, and just goes boom.
Oh god.
The lightning drags pieces of the face off with it. The bolts and strands literally tearing chunks of bone and flesh and taking it like a scattered Halloween mask, flying into the air before disintegrating into the fire. You felled it in a single strike. It's done.
That was a second level shocking grasp.
Yeah. Even though that was an amazing moment, Kai can't help but feel responsible in this moment. You're an islander. This is the most common threat to your entire culture. You grew up around them. The sharks just looked a little bit different here because you're so far away from Tarva. These are clearly sea devils, the bane of fishing villages. They are shark-like humanoids that actually commune with sharks. They worship sharks. They worship a shark god. They can telepathically communicate with sharks, and they use them for scouts and mounts. And they are... If gnolls are the bane of the people on land, these are the bane of people at sea. They go into a frenzy for blood. They seek it. They crave it. They are organized. They have religion and culture, but much like the harpies, they disregard it in favor for blood. They often make their sort of encampments and outposts and their homes on shipwrecks and villages they scatter. So they were probably asleep in the wreckage. They woke up. You guys were up top. Yeah. Or the sharks mentally communicated that you guys were here, and they waited for a surprise attack. All right, the big one's done. You don't see that. All right, that's going to bring us to Kai. Is it all your actions?
Yeah, that was all.
Okay, Ernie, you're up.
So Ernie sleeps in his storage shed on the top deck, so he's going to pop out somewhere.
So, as you're sleeping in your storage shed, you wake up, and next to your bed is a origami bird, origami crane on your desk folded that you did not put there.
All right, we're going to come back to that. Hop out of bed, and I run onto the main deck.
Okay, so Ernie, you're going to pop out, let's say over here. Wait, that's not Ernie. Ernie has his own mini. Here we go. There we go.
Is that one stride or two stride, do you think?
Call it one stride since you're on the top deck. That's
Okay.
fine.
Do I see? I run out. I see Terry down.
Terry's down, bleeding out. There's a
Cordelia's,
shark man right next to you, the sea devil right next to you, stabbing at Wesley with a spear.
I'm gonna run to Terry
Okay.
with second stride, and I'm gonna use my third action to feed him a healing potion.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for HP.
Which is just 4 points of healing.
His eyes, as he talks, you can see his throat vibrate with blood as it splurs up. Gross. I saw him coming. I warned you.
You did good.
All right. Is that it for you?
Yep.
Brooks.
You could have done better. I'm going to. Okay, so he's going to say. It's kind of early, but I guess it's dinner time.
Okay. The fighter's fork explodes with electricity, and the silver trident comes to its full force.
If I use Athletic Rush, which gives me 10 feet of extra movement,
You can make it,
it
yes.
one strike. Okay,
Yep.
so I'll do that.
All right, and you're coming up top.
Yes.
They're going to give you 2 actions left. Boy, look at that. It's a big old cluster right
Yeah.
we
ew.
have a traffic jam on the stairs.
And I can see 3 more? Is that 3 more of those?
There's one next to us immediately.
There's one
and
right
there's three
here,
on the other
and then
side.
there's
No,
1,
there's
2, 3 on the
right.
deck right there.
Oh, there's one next to us.
Mhm.
Is it within 5 feet of me?
It is right next to you, yeah.
Okay. I will then stab it.
Okay, go for it.
Stab it.
Stab. Yeah. Oh, natural 20.
Okay, let's hear it.
A lot of
Crit heavy episode.
I'm
Here
not.
I am, rolling
I'm not
twos.
taking it for granted.
Your dice look like that so that throws can look like this.
Oh, it's 2d4 because I have that rune on it. I mean 2d8. So 12, 24 plus 8 is 28. 32
32, okay. 32 points of damage.
for the first strike.
All right, so for the first strike, you pierce it, and the fighter's fork goes all the way through it. And it's howling at you, and then dies on the edge of the
So I'll
trident.
stab it and like fling it over the side. And
As
then-
you do, you watch the sharks just descend upon it, tearing the body to pieces.
and then the next closest one is like too far to hit.
Yeah, he's way over here.
So I guess I can use another stride though.
Okay.
So I guess I'll move.
Close to him.
Oh, not that close.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I'll. But I'm wearing like nothing. I'm wearing like trousers and nothing else.
Okay.
We're all in our PJs.
Yeah, so I guess I'll. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just be there.
Okay. You're right there. All right. One's
Ernest
dead.
is a one.
I want to be close to like
Little
the
butterfly.
like within 5 feet of like my party members.
Okay. That's gonna bring us to.
This is a mistake.
The smell of that iron-like smell in the air, that hanging metallic taste of blood spilling over the deck. You can see it dripping off the sides of the railings, where the body that Brooks threw over is being devoured by the sharks. It's being spread in the dark water they can barely see by the amber moonlight. And you hear as not 1, not 2, but 4 more.
Who redeemed this?
No one. This is the encounter.
Who redeemed this?
we did with 2 crits that it will one-shot enemies.
are going to. Nope. This is just the encounter as assigned. Actually, only 3 more because I only have 3 more minis. So you got lucky.
Who's?
Wait, there's the 4th. I knew I was.
Oh god.
We're gonna pop over here. There we go.
I might be in troubles, boys.
All right, and they are going to absolutely swarm this deck right now. All right,
Who is
that's not their
Trophies,
turn.
and why are you in his
That
boys?
Was that a layer action?
So before the session, redeem this masterpiece. I know. I was so excited that they rolled this. I was like, I've been waiting for this one. Now here's the thing: if you had gone into the water, they're in the water. When they move
That's
fast.
probably the better way to.
This might be better because
And
y'all have a
we've all
full
been
heal.
fine.
All we had
Yeah.
to do was sacrifice Terry.
Yeah.
As I say, Terry disagrees that this is the better
Here's
plan.
the thing, though. There's more in the water.
Not for long.
Well, there would have been more in the water if we were in the water too.
It's true. All right.
Like freaking
So now that they're
piranhas.
up on the deck, there are 8 of them on there. I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 on deck.
Not a single AOE.
Wesley,
spell
you're up.
in my possession.
I think I might.
They are
technically
swarming.
have
You can see
one.
all of them have that. Their nostrils flaring. Their eyes are like going like deep black with like just those bloodshot veins going through them. You can see their
Okay.
tense veins pulsing in their foreheads as they.
And how far away is like that cluster of like 3 from me?
Let's see. The cluster of 3 from you is 15 feet.
Okay, so I already wanted to bomb the sharks, so I made sure I had it with me, and I'm gonna yeet it in the middle of
Which
them.
bomb?
It's the shrapnel bomb.
Go for it.
So it's plus
Nice.
15 to hit.
Nice.
That's a 28 to hit the middle one.
28 to hit the middle one. Crit.
Oh, I guess bombs can crit. Alright.
Yeah, they can.
Let me take the jump bomb.
I looked it up last session.
The one that dropped on my head.
2d8 slashing. So it's gonna take 10 slashing.
Okay.
And
Oh.
and everything around it, like the 2 next to it, take 2 slashing, and he is bleeding 2.
Do you get the crit
Okay.
specialization effect?
Increase the radius of the splash's damage if any to 10 feet. So
Oh no.
So I'm gonna say
So
that
could
this one all just get
Yeah.
as the shrapnel bomb just hits it and it
Yeah. And the one I hit
explodes.
is bleeding.
Yeah, all these little blades fly out, debris of like broken forks, little bits of metal just split out and like pierce them in the arms and the neck, just flying everywhere. Some of you duck out of the way as it,
Yeah,
it
and then I'm
pops
gonna
out
use
and cuts them.
Like as it's exploding, I'm gonna use like the cover of the explosion to tumble through and get up to the one. See if I can.
You want to get next to Terry here?
I want to like kind of tumble through to the one that I just threw a bomb in and smack him in the face.
This guy?
Yeah.
Okay, you can tumble through how far?
My speed is 35 right now.
Oh yeah, you can get right there. You're right next to him in the center of all of it.
Yep. And then I'm gonna strike him. Oh wait, no, he's bleeding. I want to strike the companion to his left.
This guy?
The other side.
This guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one is.
Imagine this is so hard for me to keep track. I'm like, wait. A, B, C, D, E, F.
Sorry. Weapons. So this is.
We just make redeem monster a little cheaper because Lisa's is getting bloodthirsty.
Plus 11.
He has the blood frenzy too.
I want to use a hero point. I want to hit. Does 19 hit?
19 does hit. Yes, their AC is 18.
Okay. Which I need hero point for, so this is going to do 2d6.
But if you guys wonder why I tell my party the ACs of them, it's because my party does not cheat, and it's useful for calculating crits because they're very important. Those plus minus ones are very important in Pathfinder. So they have a relevant bonus they forget and can help them out.
It's 12 slashing.
12 slashing on that one.
Bombo.
Okay. Whew. He's bloodied. He is
I threw a bomb in one's face and then through the explosion just ran up and
like it. All right.
That's 3 actions.
All right, we love that. Cordelia, you can now see 7 of these all just looking around like a hungry beggar looking for its next meal, just
Yeah.
teeth bared.
Seeing that Terry's now awake, Ernest can see this, but the smoke is starting to seep from her eyes again as she turns around and whips out her hands, and I need the one directly behind her. Actually, no, this is a ranged attack.
This guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she goes, blood kill in Aquan,
Oh!
Blood kill.
which is what they were chanting. 29.
29 is a crit.
Go damage, go.
It's gonna take double damage from chilling darkness.
Oh, what?
The new spell I have.
Oh, it's like super
I need
good
one of
against like
these.
slashes and stuff.
So it's gonna take
Oh, that's right. That one.
5d6 cold damage doubled.
Why'd you make that face?
10, 15, 14, 18.
Double
30.
30 damage.
30 cold
so you
damage.
say blood kill, and you wave your hands, and this is it actually like have frost? How's the spell come out?
So for her, as she spins around, that smoke that started to emanate from her is coalescing and shoots through him, but kind of in the way it's shaped vaguely like a skull as it screams through it.
Like a ghost skull
Yeah.
flies through it, and, as it passes through him, you see him just fade, the light fade from his eyes, and he just tumbles overboard. He is dead.
And then the one directly behind it, the one that hooked her,
Yes.
she's gonna evil eye him.
Nice. The evil eye is upon him.
So I need him to make a will saving throw.
What a turn.
Very
Ooh, 25? Sorry.
Okay, then he succeeds.
Yeah, I rolled high. Okie dokers. That's going to bring us to... Are you done?
Yep.
Their turn. They are going to swarm as they do, so this one's going to move up behind Wesley. He sees you engage in attacking his friends. Jumps and whoosh, goes to claw. So one action stride, second action is going to be the claw. Natural 2, so whoosh,
For a total
claws
of-
at the ground. Total of 14. I'm sorry, 13.
Okay. One off.
Okay. Oof.
With the gravity fail, I'm just
So it claws into the ground. As it's at the ground, it sees your leg there as it missed, and it's just going to go and try and chomp right at the ankle.
Give him the chin.
Nat 1.
Okay, this time, like, he goes to bite me, and I pull out my hand, he goes to bite, and I smack him in the head with my sword.
Okay.
Or, it's a dagger, actually. Or my-
Kukri.
Cool 3.
It's 17.
17 does not hit. Unless he's flat-footed for some reason. Do you have anything that grants that?
No.
Sorry. 18 is his AC. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I rolled a 2.
So it
Again!
it like snaps the head out of the way,
you don't
and
have a hero
you just
point.
miss on that counterattack,
No, I
just
get
just slightly. All right, that's that one's turn. But there are more that are going to swarm upon you.
There are a
Save
lot.
my-
This one's going to move. He doesn't quite engage with you at this point. He's staying at 10 feet back, and as the other one, you're like fighting with it. You're trying to slash at it. It is like planning its move, and it waits until your side is exposed where your kidney is, and it's going to try and stab right there. Like it was
No,
waiting.
I
It was
need
waiting for
my
the opportune
kidneys.
moment.
I need one of those at least.
Not my kidney.
Roll low, please.
Oh.
Roll those sound good. I mean,
26.
nondescript
That's a hit.
chocolate caramel.
Not a crit. Oh, they need a crit. They need a crit for the good stuff. Oh wait, it's flanking, right?
It's still not a crit if it's flanking.
But you're flat-footed, right?
It's still not a crit if that's
Oh,
the case.
I don't need you to crit. I just need you to be flank. I need you to be flat-footed.
Yeah, if they get the flanking footed rolls, then yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, so it stabs you for max damage, 9 points of damage.
Mhm.
Because you were flat-footed to it, it did find that weak point in your side. It stabs you, and you begin to bleed from your side. You're going to go ahead and take 1d4 persistent bleed damage. So you're now bleeding. As you bleed it, it's going to go ahead and it inhales, feeling the blood.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping the bleeding
Yep.
companion would have triggered them.
Yeah, and it's going to go into a blood frenzy. All right, so that one that just stabbed you is this one. He's going to gain some temporary hit points. He has lower AC, and he has now discarded his spear completely and just like full-on claws, pure primal. All right, there's one more, and is also going to attack you. He's going to try and attack you twice with the claws. 21.
Misses.
That's going to be a 19. That misses.
Yeah.
And then as it
22.
whoosh, it slices twice at you. This is this guy right here. His third effort is going to be Sensing that you're not an easy meal, he's going to stride.
Oh no, I already used my opportunity. My reaction.
He's going to get right on the edge over here, so he's like up on the banister of the ship.
I'm pretty sure that's the bleeding one. So.
Yeah, he's the one that's bleeding really bad. Please fit. Yay! And he's like right behind Cordelia. He's like crawling on all fours, and he's going for Terry.
So he bleeds 4.
All right, that was that one, that one, that one. This one is gonna whip around us,
Yeah,
and like
it's 4 bleed damage.
4 bleed damage. Yes, thank you. So it's turning around, and it just like looks, and it felt that cold. And it's going to just strike it twice at Cordelia. Oh, fuck. 29?
Oh no.
Not a crit.
Not a crit.
And
What
you're
a
not
crit be?
flat-footed. Natural 1 for the second one. Alright,
So
so
hit and miss.
it is going to hit you just for 1.
I am very critical. I'm worried.
Minimum damage, you're going to take 4 points of slashing
All right.
as it strikes out at you. And it is also going to maneuver itself and kind of move over here by the Terry.
By the Terry.
Okay, they need blood. Alright, that leaves us with 2 more left, right? This one's going to turn and move towards Brooke. Sorry, this is the world's longest enemy turn. There's so many of them. It is going to try and just jump on top of Brooks and try and like get up on you.
Okay. Okay.
What's up in your business?
So it's going to roll a 21 versus AC.
Yes.
Okay, so it jumps onto Brooks, and this is just for flavor, and it just goes. It
No,
just
that's the thing
bites.
I didn't want you to do. Don't
It
bite me.
bites into your shoulder. You're not flat-footed, thankfully, so you're not going to take the extra bleed. Dang it. I gotta make them start attacking you guys.
Dang it.
Oh wait, it's supposed to be a D8. My bad. Oh, you take 7 points of slashing,
Okay. Yeah.
and then it's going to bite you again. It's going to try. Natural 17, so that's going to be 23 versus AC. And that's going to be
Yes.
10 more points of slashing. So that one, it's not physically on you. It's not, you don't have a condition or anything, but it is on your shoulder, like biting into your shoulder, like trying to pull off chunks, and it's moving closer to your neck, like working, like almost like very sensual kisses, but in a very bad way. It's like
Is that one bleeding?
this one.
The one that attacked me?
Yeah, he is.
You can't stack bleeds, right?
No, he's not bleeding. He took splash damage.
Yeah, the
That-
one
that
on the
one's
railing,
bleeding.
the
You
kind
gonna
of this
blood
one,
vendetta?
that's the one that's
So I
bleeding.
think I want a blood vendetta. So as he slashes at me, the blood kind of gushing coalesces and kind of freezes in air and then just slides back into him. And
Okay.
I'm gonna do my blood vendetta.
So you got it.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll save.
Natural 7 for a 14.
Yeah, it's a fail. So it takes 2d6 now,
Go for it.
right?
It's persistent damage. If it
It's
was on his,
persistent
yeah, because it's
damage.
its turn that
Yeah.
just inflicted the damage.
So 7 bleed damage.
Okay. Got it.
And then it's also got weakness 1 to piercing and slashing.
Heard that. That's this one right here. Remember that, chat, because I won't.
You got
All right,
anything
the
to say?
very last one. The very last one is just going to go on the side right here, and it's going to see Mr. Darrow, and it is going to take a stab at Mr. Darrow. That's a miss. So you can see Mr. Darrow, who is a military man, pull up his saber and like hold up, and he's blocking the spear. And as it is, it drops its hand and just goes for a claw against the chest against Mr. Darrow there.
No.
Natural 2. So it goes
Yes.
to claw at him, and it actually stumbles through and just moves over to this side now, over by Ernie.
Where are
As
you,
Mr. Darrow
Tim?
kind of
Here,
puts his saber out and like
Where?
holds it out, and
if I can
now
do
it's over
this.
there. All right, that's all of them.
Right there.
Under there.
Let's go, Kai.
Did you have a turn? Ernie?
I think I'm after you.
Yeah, but I already went once. So
Yeah,
sir.
he
He also-
I
I
did.
already
I
went.
popped out.
I gave the
Okay,
healing
He
word.
gave a potion to.
Yep.
Got it.
He freed me up so that I could
Alright.
spell.
Just scratch Kai off of the combo list. No.
Okay,
Let's
gotcha.
go.
I thought I was looking from the top-down map to see what was. Well, I can hit anything on this ship, honestly. What looks the healthiest?
They're all a little wounded. The one that went into a blood rage.
The healthiest are probably
This
the
guy.
ones.
The one that went into a blood rage,
Cool.
he's empowered. He's stronger than the other ones.
Although
This
Darrow's fighting this one right here. No, I think I'm
Those
going for the
two
one
are
in front of
pretty
it. The one that's
healthy.
fighting Darrow right
Yeah.
now. I'm a little worried for this area.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn to the one that's fighting Darrow. and I'm going to activate the Iris of the Sky.
Okay.
We're shooting the lightning bolt.
Let's do it. So you don't have to reload.
Correct. Okay, that's going to be a 24.
That does hit.
Yep. You said 18, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So it's 2Ds. And then... Are they, how do they fare against fire damage? Are they immune?
Nothing.
Cool. Alright, so they're going to take 10 point... He's going to take 10 points of lightning damage.
So the lightning bolt fires out of this white-stocked Giselle. Fires across it. All right, 10 points of lightning.
Plus 4 more fire.
Plus 4 more fire as it bursts.
And he has persistent fire damage on him.
He's bloodied. Okay, and he's fire.
And then I'm going to reload now, and then take a normal shot against. You said he's bloodied.
This one's bloodied.
I'm gonna believe in the fire damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot against the one that is attacking Cordelia in that case.
Not the guy on the side. This guy right here.
Natural 17.
Okay. And then that one. That's I gotta click this to. So I'm gonna do the math. I guess that's plus 10, huh? Okay, so 27 to hit then.
Yep, it's one away from a crit, unfortunately.
Sad.
Sad day.
If only Bless were here.
If only.
All right, and that's 10 points of piercing damage.
10 points of piercing to that one. That's
So
attacking
basically after taking that shot, Kai just whips around, reloading, and immediately fires again into the next target.
Very smooth.
Okay, that one's on. He's on death's door right here. All right,
There's your cue, Ernie.
Ernie, you're up.
You're right there too.
Or he's like,
All right.
close to death.
So which one's close to death? This one?
This
Yep.
guy, he's just like he was attacking Cordelia and moving through, and you watch a lightning bolt hit this one right next to you, and then this one's entire like shoulder tendons get obliterated by a bullet as well from Kai.
All right. Is there any? I can't. There's not one that I can easily put between me and Cordelia, right?
No, you can't get flanking at all with Cordelia.
But I could, if this guy were dead and I could step into his position, I'd be flanking. I could flank that guy.
That is possible, yes.
All right. I want to start with Mr. Bloody.
Yeah, he's on fire.
All right, so the one that's on fire, Ernie kind of, he had just hunched down low to give the healing potion, and with a lot of alacrity kind of like runs and pulls his knife at the same time and tries to stab the guy that's on fire.
Go for it.
Gonna shank
That's
him.
their signature move.
That's like a 5-foot step, yeah? Or am I already right there next
No,
to
you're
him?
right next to him.
Okay, great. So that's going to be a 29 to hit.
Crit.
Cool.
So now he's bleeding too, if he survives.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't.
Strike
They call
him.
Ernie the finisher.
No, I don't get. I don't have the striking
Oh,
roll
that's
on
right.
yet.
You didn't buy it.
That's going to be 14 points of damage.
Okay. Ernie runs up and just right between the ribs, and you can see it on fire. The skin melting in front of you. Like trying to bite at your face, and it just dies on the edge of your knife, and then slumps
So with
over.
that same forward momentum that he just did from that stab, he continues his movement and steps into the position of the creature he just killed.
Okay.
And then immediately turns and is now that he's flanking with Cordelia. He's going to strike the one
Yeah, I'll
behind
give you
him.
flanking with Cordelia. She's a little bit away, but I think that's fair. That's good.
Yeah, it's hard for me to see.
Yeah, it's fine.
So he's going to do his second action and
Standing
stab
across
again.
and down, Terry,
Go for
from
it.
me.
It is flat-footed.
It is going to be 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
This one with sneak attack damage.
This guy's dead. This is not the blood rage. This
That's
is
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage?
Yes.
Oof. Okay. He's on death's door.
I attacked them
Okay.
backwards.
Seeing him near death, he will stab a third time.
Okay.
You can do it. Let's try it.
19.
19 just hits. So as you slip the blade in, you pull back one more time.
And that's going to be an additional. Oh, that's max damage. 16 points of damage.
So you just pull the blade and like you're scaling a fish, just like slide it down and hitting every vital organ you can, and just slips and falls dead at your feet.
After he stabs, using that same momentum, he's going to take another 5-foot step forward
You're right next to Terry again.
and have completed his loop there. Get the fuck off our ship!
and you can hear them just chanting,
Blood, kill, blood, kill. Ah.
Ernie the finisher.
Brooks.
Okay. There's one right in front of
Yeah,
me.
this one's engaged with you, and then the rest are kind of over there.
Okay. His eyes are going to flash gold.
Okay.
As he casts Weapon Surge, which I don't think I've
Ever done?
done because I always fucking miss. So it just my
They're a little
weapon
squishier.
my weapon begins to vibrate as I attack with it. With this die,
Ooh.
28.
28 is
29.
crit. That's a crit.
Crit.
So it gives it an extra damage die,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Still cool.
Cool. It's a crit, right?
Yeah.
So 14, 28, 32, 36 damage.
So, Brooks, the weapon in your hand just begins to vibrate, and like almost to where it's like glowing with energy, and you just
Hey.
you just go, and it's honestly too quick to see. The vibrations just cause it to move so swiftly, and you pull back the fire sport, and it stumbles forward, and then just kind of splits down the middle.
I
And
sliced it with a piercing.
it's dead. Sashimi is on the menu.
Well, okay. So
Yeah,
for
he's
my
dead.
last action, he's just going to hold the. So he stabbed it, slashed it, whatever.
Mhm.
He's going to hold it behind him, and then he's going to wave his arm in front of him, and then another Brooks kind of appears slightly in front. I'm going to cast Shield for my last action.
Okay, so the spectral Brooks comes up and holds up his hands, shielding you from harm. You got it.
Very cool.
All right, there's only 3 remaining, and it's going to be Wesley's turn.
Okay, how many are around me?
3.
Okay. I've damaged one of them already.
Yes.
So
I think the
He
that
is
one.
not hurt. He is full
No, yeah,
strength
the other one.
raging. He is hurt from splash damage, and he is bloodied. This guy's hurt.
okay, so I'm gonna start with the one that is hurt right in front of me.
Okay.
This is a miss because I don't have any hero points left. You're already at 1, so you're
Chat
gone.
doesn't love y'all today.
Where is victorious one?
My points!
The blade slips a little in the blood in my hand, and then I
Oh,
find
okay.
my.
Why can't I hold on to the sword? There's so much blood.
But a 21 will hit him.
21 will hit him.
So he takes minimum damage, which is
I like that.
12.
Oh.
oh.
2, 4, 9. I got an
Ah!
No.
He lives!
but then I toss my blade in the air and I point up, and when he looks, I catch it and go for his throat with a confident finisher.
Okay.
So
Now you are confident that you're about to.
If you lose, you're getting cursed because you have to hit on this.
18.
18 exactly hits. All right, he had 1 hit
Wow.
point left. So you slip and it dodges, then you
wanted to
strike
roll
it,
my
and it looks straight up, and you pierce it, and it's done.
It makes you feel better. It would have been like 30 damage.
Sorry,
does
buddy.
make me feel better.
Use channel points to banish them from watching. Oh, yeah. At least kept Victorious one from helping.
At
Helping.
least
Chat.
I know remotely where you live.
So it's a D4 bleed?
Which one? This guy? Yeah.
No,
go- Oh yeah, you're
So I
taking a
was
D4 bleeding and roll your flat check.
Okay, well I rolled a 4.
Okay, so you're still bleeding.
No, I meant for damage. I don't know
Oh,
if you
take
wanna
4
do
and
that.
then roll your flat check.
So 50.
You're looking for a 15 or higher to
Seven?
stop bleeding.
Nope, I'm bleeding.
Okay, keep bleeding. Keep bleeding. All right.
61.
Nope. Fish. All right. That's gonna bring us to Cordelia. So you have this one that's like animalistic, clawing on its way, just looking at Terry. Feast. And then there's Ernie, who just sliced up 2, and then you can hear Kai's gunshots ringing behind you. There's only 2 left on the battlefield. What would you like to do?
The one that's clamoring towards Terry, she ducks down enough to make eye contact with it as her eyes turn jet black, and she says, "Feast." And I need it to make a fortitude saving throw.
Oh boy.
Are you doing the thing?
I'm doing the thing.
Oh no.
becoming her signature spell.
It's Morbin time.
It's important.
It's
21.
Mormon time, yeah.
No.
Yeah, that should be a
Fail
fail.
That's a fail now.
Your class DCs go up with your level, so as you level up, everything gets stronger. It's not just when your stats go up. Every time you level up, everything gets stronger.
Oh.
She's about to more about.
I'm about to warp out. Wait, I'm Morbin over here. All these like blood drinkers, we just
19.
started with it.
We're eating them.
19 points of piercing damage as the worms materialize in its flesh.
He becomes nothing more than fish food as the worms rise within his skin. And it falls back, and you can see it feasting upon him. And he's devoured not only by worms, but sharks as well. As
Shark
they begin
bait.
to tear him apart, and those individual pieces begin to get eaten alive by the worms within his
Shark's
flesh.
eating good today.
I shiver every time you use that,
Bye-bye.
leaving only the blood frenzied one remaining.
And
He's right behind me.
since we leveled up, I have an extra focus point.
Mm-hmm.
I need him to make a will saving throw as I try to evil eye this one.
He's inside the house.
Oh no! 11 fail.
Ooh,
Fail?
that's a
Fail?
critical
Fail.
fail. So he's frightened 2.
Oh boy.
He's like 14 now.
You know what? As he's in the blood frenzy and he's watching everything die around him, he is just gonna... I'm gonna roll percent die for this because I want to narratively do something, but he is in the middle of a blood frenzy, so he's either gonna attack Wesley or he's gonna realize kind of what's going on. 54, he's gonna continue to attack Wesley because he feels that evil eye upon him, but he doesn't care. He's just giving in to his primal lust for blood. He is going to straight up just drag his hand along the deck and then try and uppercut with a claw.
And frightened reduces that?
Frightened 2, -2.
-2.
Wow.
But he has +4. Alright, hinder foe on the one attacking Wesley. Got it. Okay, that brought it down to a 9. So the foe is hindered to plus 18. So 18 does not hit you. Cthulhu Kitty just stopped you from taking a big hit. Thank you for that, Cthulhu Kitty.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to swing at you, and you just dodge out of the way. And as the momentum's going, you can see its eyes look at you, and it's just pissed that you dodge. And you see the fins on it turn like blades, and it's gonna try and slice you back as it brings its arm backwards. Natural 2, so that's gonna be +7, takes it to a 9. But then we're bringing -2, brings it to a 7, and then we have
Fail, and
+4,
I'm gonna
11.
retaliate and smack him.
Okay, go for it.
What? That's 26.
26 to hit. Yeah, it hits.
Is it a crit because of the evil eye?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
he has -2 AC while he's frenzied. It is a crit.
Okay.
He has 16 AC right now. You're correct. Thank you for correcting me on that. Yes.
Okay, so it's plus
Uh-oh.
20.
Damage?
Yeah, 20 slashing damage.
He's on death's door. All right.
He like tries to hit me with the fins, and I just slice the fins off. And just like,
Frightened doesn't affect AC.
oh, it doesn't?
No. He's blood frenzy affects AC.
No, I was
Oh.
Oh, that's
because he asked earlier.
Did I do y'all's mixed up? Because Cordelia just went, right?
Yes.
Yes, and then it attacked me. Mine was a reaction.
This was a reaction, yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Because it critically missed me.
So what I want to do is have it jump in the water, but right now it's in blood frenzy. It's not going to stop attacking, even though you're attacking it. It's not. It's part of what it would do. That's going to bring it to 17. Nope. So it tries to bite you with one last bite, and it's breathing heavy. It's wounded. You can see blood dripping down its eyes, and that frenzy is the only thing keeping the body going. You see it's already dead. It's just its primal brain synapses firing just to try and get one last bit of blood. It's a dead thing walking already. Kai.
Oh, we like that. Okay. Yeah, let's start with the reload, and then this thing needs to die. We can't let Ernie finish it.
Whatever
Put
the
me in,
cost.
coach.
Okay,
That's definitely-
31.
31 big crit.
Yeah, okay, cool. I mean,
Just tell me.
I think we can fairly assume that it's dead. So
Oh wait, hang on. What'd you roll?
I rolled a 16.
Roll again, because you guys have misfortune.
I'll kill it anyway.
We'll see.
Ooh, hold on a second. Do I have a hero point to negate this bullshit? Okay. Oh no, you said it's blood frenzied, right? Oh no, with misfortune I rolled a 4 and instead it's a 19. Oh, what will I do?
You stop mocking Chad!
What will I do, Lise?
Yeah, drive away our most consistent chatter.
What will I do?
Yeah, probably.
He likes the abuse.
Hi, welcome to twitch.tv/Sonokim, where we bully Chad.
Chad tried to bully me first. All right.
Alright, describe it to me.
Turnabout spare.
Okay.
In a
play.
much less cool way than you were originally going to.
I'm gonna do most of what I was gonna do anyway. Basically, Kai just slings up, and he feels like he has a great beat on it, and then suddenly some BS messes it up, and so he's like shaking a little bit, but and his aim is true enough anyway, and it pierces right through the neck. And you said there's stuff in the water, too, or you said that was everything on the ship?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, knowing now that these are sea devils, he knows how they work. And so, step over to the edge of the ship, and he pulls off the mask and seals it over his face. It is tradition for his tribe to wear these masks to frighten off the sea devils when the raiders come. And in his arcane cascade stance,
This might work.
I get new things. Thank you. Hold on, I gotta find the thing though, because here we go. I need to find the feet. Hold on.
Quick.
I'm going as fast as I can. The new Starlit Eyes feat. It enhances my perception and range, so you see his eyes glowing beneath the mask. And basically, the creatures that are concealed or hidden from me are. It lowers the DC of the flat check to be able to target them. I'm just trying to notice them in this case.
Okay. So beneath the surface, probably about 40 feet down, maybe a little bit deeper, you see what you know to be the Baron. Sea devils, when they're more organized, have a hierarchy, and this is the one. You see him large, commanding. You see at least, like as you put in that sight, it looked like an empty space of water, and then you see something like 12 or 14 more of these things in the water, just lurking, waiting, and the sea devil Baron in the center with his great staff just pointing forward. And then suddenly your eyes lock with his as you put on the mask, and there's this sort of acknowledgement. What else are you going to do?
Oh, well, now just that's my action, so all he's going to do is going to say, it's not over yet. And then...
they're not making a move. We're officially out of this particular combat until you roll initiative. You're aware of what's down there. I'm just saying if you wanted to do something as you make contact with this guy, that's within reason.
Well, I'm wearing the mask to spook him. I'm trying to spook him.
Yeah,
so,
I want you to try and intimidate him.
Yeah.
That's essentially it.
In Aquan, then, I will, I'll yell, "Give us what you have down there, or you're next!"
You're wearing the mask. Roll intimidate.
Got even hero points.
I don't. I mean, is anyone going to do something with this, or do we want to mess with... No, I'm messing with it. Natural 20.
Hey, this man
Natural 20.
this
Please
man is
verify. Does anyone else want to validate
unstoppable.
his dice?
He is unstoppable.
Mother Hacker, validate that for me.
today.
It's a 20. I thought it was a 10 at first. I was like, oh, that's sad.
Oh, Chad, give me the misfortune. Oh, my God.
Oh my god. The Baron looks at you, and you can see it. Its will, its iron anger looking at you. How dare you try and intimidate it? And as the mass surges forth, and it's almost as if the waves are rising up. It's sort of like, imagine a scene in a movie where you're no longer standing on the deck, but you can see these waves rise up around you and make sort of this tunnel. The things at the side don't matter. The little shark men saying, there's no Windfall, there's not your teammates, there's just you and this Baron in a lockdown. He knows he has the number, and you know he has the numbers. And yet, as he looks at you and engages at the mask and feels that power emanating from you, the mistress's divine will pushing out, you see it ever so slightly. The fear take his eyes, overcoming even the bloodlust. it snaps its staff and drops it, and you watch as it sort of fades from your view, and the waves crash, and with it sweeps out all of the dark figures around you. Again, a mental, sort of spiritual connection you had there. And suddenly, the water's clear. The sharks leave, as do the remainder of the foes. And you guys have seen Kai stood on the side of this, and he had this otherworldly presence for a moment, this surge of wind and water and like this cool chill around him, and he removes the mask and turns back to the crew.
Rip Terry or whatever, but there's treasure down there.
Terry lived.
Terry lived.
Terry lived.
Can we get him down to the turtle below?
Cordelia will kneel down and cast Soothe on him.
I'm sorry. It was all I could do to defend myself. I barely drew blood on one of them. I say, who forgot to roll initiative, Mr. Darrow?
You did good. Don't worry about it. They came on awfully quick.
Terry heals 12.
Yeah, he's out, but Mr. Darrow goes over and like picks him up. I'll take him down, and maybe we'll go get Jane and have her lay with him.
Okay. Just make sure that he's seen too.
I'll tell. And he just goes downstairs.
Is anyone hurt and bad?
I'm kind of hurt.
I can do one of the little leaves. It's 3d8.
What up?
3d8?
What a fucking moment. The shipwreck lie before you. Now this air of mystery and shadows and secrecy surrounding it. Just possibility laying down there. So since you have completed the encounter, I don't much have reason to roleplay you guys going down there and getting this stuff. The encounter was get as much stuff as you can as they keep coming in waves and waves, but you fucking nat 20 the leader. Alright.
Go get that treasure.
So, all in all, you discover several items. In total, if you gather up the gold that's floating around in the chests,
We do. We get everything we can.
It
We can
is-
breathe underwater with his help.
120 gold pieces, a lockbox with 57 gold pieces,
It's 150.
and a bag with 61 gold pieces.
That's 238.
I didn't write down the...
I'm writing it all
Alright,
down.
there are 3 other chests. One is filled with women's dresses, umbrellas, gloves, like shoes, nice clothes.
Cass will love that.
It's a little
Give it to Ron.
think like a old proper style dress. I don't think it's like Cass's fashion so much. There is one filled with various perfumes and like really nice like big jars of perfumes and like various like incenses and these dried flowers and stuff. Not just like not like a lady's perfume kit, but like a perfumer, like someone that's like professionally does this. Would have been expensive. Most of it is probably decayed. You might have some good scents left in there, but not enough to sell.
To cover up the smell of sailors.
The very last one is full of what look like documents and books, completely obliterated. Nothing's even legible at this point. As you go deeper in and you open up what looked like maybe at this point was maybe a merchant ship or some sort of high-end vessel. But what you find next is a gigantic refined chunk of silver. A huge, massive chunk of silver. It is worth 250 gold pieces, or it can be forged into a standard grade silver item. So you can make a silver weapon and make silver armor out of it. 250 gold pieces if you want to sell it.
Do we need to silver someone's weapon?
You find a small piece of rope on a necklace that looks like almost like a snake, but it's like a twirled, twisting little rope. And it is a binding coil. Someone wants to add that to there. It's a consumable. Someone wants to add that down. And as you're looking, you find most of it's been destroyed, but in the captain's cabin, you find what looks like a warrior's conquest chest. At one point, there were weapon stands, there were coats of arms, but most everything has been lost to the elements or destroyed or stolen. You do find tied together a rope that's been tied together and is bloody, and that is a murderer's knot. It looks like it'd be attached to a weapon. And then there is a mannequin, and on the mannequin, covered in barnacles, is this, it's covered in seaweed and filth and looks like blood and stuff. But there's a full set of plate mail armor with this filthy tabard, which is completely covered just by the elements of being understones.
Finally some heavy armor. Holy shit.
Let's clean it up.
Yeah.
I'll get mending and I can help you clean it.
With a filthy tabard.
Yeah, it's just, you can't even tell, like, you can't tell the
What it
heraldry
is.
of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because only knights have full plate, right? And like chevaliers, and like really, it's expensive, right? So this is clearly someone of importance, but you can't tell what heraldry they belong to because the tabard is covered up by nastiness. If you guys want to bring all that back up to the top.
Oh yeah. I'll take the binding thing.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah. And then I think Ernie should get the
Murder's knot.
As you go back to the deck, is that okay if I move the scene back to the?
Yes.
As you go back to the deck,
No.
there is Flintlock has a blanket and he's wrapped around Red Rage, who has she is completely dripping wet. She is covered in blood, and he's like got a blanket over her. He's like patting her back, and like she's just got like this vacant stare in her eyes. She sees Kai passing by. I got one.
God.
Jump down and go.
The smith, shirtless, comes out. He's wearing nothing but like these like cloth pants, barefooted. You can see now this giant rune in his chest, which you've seen glimpses of before. Like there's a giant spot in the middle of his like where someone hewn a piece out of him, but instead of blood and guts, you see nothing but crackling pure energy. I stopped several of them from below decks. When I heard the cry, maybe half a dozen or so climbed in through the portholes. They closed in, some made it to the bottom deck, but I think Frederic we have to thank for getting that one. I stopped what I could, but one grabbed Rosamund and fell out of the porthole with her. She made it back up on her own. I'm sorry I wasn't quicker. Thank you for taking care of this crew.
Did we lose anybody?
Everyone's accounted for. This
That's a
time.
Almost lost Terry.
miracle.
I'm making an executive decision that should we find any oddities or intrigue, we will not rest unless it's been explored. We'll stay at least a mile away. And we should have more than just the helmsman and Terry on deck. This is as much my fault as yours, and I will see that it's tended to.
Yeah. Some hard lessons learned.
Good work, all. And the smith just sort of like heads back down to where he is.
Holy shit, Rosamund, you made it back on deck by yourself? That's incredible.
It's my deck, isn't it? Had to make it back.
Indeed. Well done.
You see that meant something to her, but she's like still like not catatonic, but she's processing. What do we do?
Ernie's gonna stumble back to his cabin, his storage room, and kind of sit on the edge of his bed, and then reach out and kind of take the origami crane that was left on his bedside and look it over in his hands.
As you pick up the origami bird, it magically unfolds in your hand, and it's completely blank. It's a piece of white paper, but it's been like faded, sun dried. It's got like little water stains on it. It's clearly been through some stuff, and ink appears on it, and it just says, like someone's writing it, "He knows." And then the message fades away.
Ernie takes it, folds it up, pulls out a leather diary in his chest pocket, and slips it inside next to a pressed white lily. Puts it shut, sticks it in his pocket.
What about the rest of us?
Cordelia will go back and check on Riley and Chris to make sure that they're okay.
Came for the boy. I got him with a pen. If it weren't for the smith, afraid both me and the boy'd be shark bait by now. Ooh ha ha.
I'm certainly glad you aren't. And at this point, she's still kind of like hackles raised like a cat. Her hair's kind of undone itself, but she will kneel down and kind of grab Riley and hug her.
Oh, that's good, love. The question.
Yeah.
This might not be the time. Perhaps I'll wait for morning.
What is it, dear?
It's just I was doing inventory. I think those Starhiel bastards took something from us.
What do you mean?
Oh, just rations missing. Someone's beaten more than they're worth. Extra portions here and there, or they took some for themselves.
You don't say.
It might be the same problem we had a couple weeks ago.
We took care of that one. I'll keep an eye on things. But let me know if you notice anything else.
Will do.
Maybe someone just got peckish.
When supplies are this tight, I certainly hope not.
Yes, one would hope.
She just goes off. She just, and somehow Chris is just like, he's like rubbing the sleepies from his eyes. Maybe the horrors of this was lost on him, or his eye. Sorry.
Oh.
And he's rubbing, and he takes Riley's hand, and she walks him back to bed.
Oh.
Oh, baby.
What a cutie.
What about the rest of you, Brooks?
Brooks is on top of the deck, kind of dripping from the excursion.
Mm-hmm.
And he's running a hand along the railing where all the claw marks are from the battle that just happened. And his eyes are doing that flicker like a dying light bulb, like trying to see. And then he just like gets frustrated and gets a splinter from the wood. He pulls it out and there's blood. And he takes it and rubs it on his palm. And then just pounds the railing again and just looks out at the sea in the darkness.
Wesley?
Wesley's just doing busy work. Like, the ship has taken a beating the past day or so. Just he kind of notices that Brooks is in a mood or something, so he's like, I'll take up the hammer for now and kind of like let him have his time.
Okay.
Kai raps thrice on the smith's door.
It opens, and he is there. You can see his anvil in the middle of his room just crackling with something metallic in the center of it.
Sir, you know the captain doesn't usually like to deal with things like this. I'm reporting for censorship, sir. I should have known about the sea devils. They're common where I'm from, and I got distracted by the loot in the water.
You made a choice. Everything can't function perfectly, because to do so would be outside of what makes you you, what makes you function. I can find no fault for you. I allowed it to happen. I cannot dole out punishment for this. I too, and he like looks back at what's like sparking on the anvil, was distracted, had been distracted. This ship is nothing more than a means to the end for the captain. He's not heartless. But his goal is to abandon you, to leave all of you. This is just a means to an end. Whereas I was made heartless, but I find so much intrigue in the heart and the flaws that I see within it. And there's something beautiful about it. There's something beautiful about making mistakes and learning from them. It's infuriating, it's confusing, but beautiful in a way. So I ask you not to submit yourself for punishment, but to see that this mistake doesn't happen again. To learn, to grow, to fix that which is broken. You exposed a flaw in the clockwork of our ship. Fix the system. Make a better ship. Your sorry does me nothing.
Sir, if the captain wants to leave, I mean, of course I'll help him with that. Orders is orders, but you'll stay with us, sir?
The individual from the Starhiel earlier, he misnamed me. He called me an axiomite, which is what I was before. And it's not surprising that he would know that name. The god he serves is the being that I was born into the sight of, though we know him by a different name. And the laws he gives are not quite the laws that they follow. I come from a place where order is important, and I was sent here to fix a problem. I met the captain fixing that problem. Something was wrong, and I was the repair. Not a person, as you might expect. I'm more of a, let's call it a tool. And in the service that I was supposed to give, in performing my intended use, I was cut off from the hand of my maker. And I was suddenly thrust into a new sensation having to choose, having choice, having freedom. I find it all very taxing, but endlessly fascinating. I followed the captain because I honestly did not know what else to do, and I thought wronging his right was perhaps the best I could do to restore order to this plane and to the other planes. I'm not sure what I'll do when the captain leaves. I'm not sure where I fit in anymore. It's certainly not here.
Guy kind of like looks down at his feet. Right, yeah. Well, it's late. I should make sure everyone's doing okay after the attack.
If I might ask you a question, Kai. You speak a lot of this idea of freedom. As someone who's never been free, what do you think I should do?
Sir, if I chose for you, I don't think you would be free.
Like I said, it's taxing. I guess I have more time to think about it. Thank you, Kai.
And Kyle, like, turn and go help put things back in order.
And close the door. Anyone else?
Arnie's gonna crawl up into the crow's nest and pull out his spyglass and kind of rake the horizon from the direction that we've come, and just look for any signs of other ships.
Perception for me. You do notice Brooks gazing out at the bottom, near the fore of the ship.
23.
23. You can see miles and miles and miles and miles. It just goes on. There's no landmass within 100 miles of this island. You do see like a rain cloud. You know, you can see rain on the horizon. You see what you assume to be that chilling mist still coalescing in a localized area. A day sail away from here, probably. Just not that far, but you could make it to the mist, and it seems to be growing and receding on the horizon. Still apparently there.
What direction?
South of you.
Okay. For now, Ernie just kind of stays up there and occasionally checks the horizon, but is also just kind of enjoying the solitude.
After Riley leaves and Chris has gone back to sleep, Cordelia's gonna pull up her stool next to the counter where she usually lays out everything and pull out the cookbook that she got from Desdemona and flip it open. And each time there's an illustration, her fingers kind of linger on it as she's reading through everything. And she looks back at the food, the like hardtack that's stored, before pulling out her knife and cutting off a chunk of leather from her belt and chewing on it as she continues to read through the book.
Anyone else? What are you guys doing with the loot?
He took a nut. I took the other rope thing to put on my weapon.
give the gold to the crew.
Wages.
Yeah.
Wage out to the crew.
What about the armor?
Brooks needs some armor.
I
Wash it off.
do. I won't be able to wear it properly for like 3 more levels, so maybe that would be like a project, like a little pet project. We kind
Well,
of
you're like
You're
cleaning
cleaning
it,
it
polishing
up.
it up.
So as you're cleaning it, you are cleaning it. So this is exciting. And you're washing off the grime, and you can see that what you thought were originally growths are actually embellishments on this. This was not just a set of full plate. This was hand masterwork crafted. As the grime falls off, there is a almost platinum sheen to it underneath. You can see like the pauldrons are large, and each one is in a different design. This one is of this curling dragon's head. This one of a great ram, and then it has sort of like a 3D effect as there's a sort of a giant hand curling around this, and over here another beast that you can't recognize curling around it, but none of it is like bulbous, or it's a very subtle, intricate design meant to represent maybe conquest, powerful foes. As you clean it, the grime, as you wipe it down with a rag as you're polishing, the tabard you can see inked on it is not the heraldry of any house or any noble that you know. There is a dragon, there is a giant, there is a strange head of a creature you don't recognize, and there is a symbol of a chimera on there, maybe represented by that bull's head. And as you're wiping it down, you're looking at this very beautiful ink designs. I mean, like someone hand sketched it on there, this deep black ink and these golden scrolling letters around the side of it. As you're doing that, your eyes flash gold. You see POV. You're going face to face with the Cyclops, taking his fist down, and you stab it through the eye. And as you come out of that, you watch the hand shrink, and the metal plate becomes normal again, and you watch the Cyclops, the giant, fade from the tabard, and it becomes pale white in one of the quadrants. Then your eyes flash gold again, and you see a fire-breathing drake. And then again, through your vision, you pierce it in the side of the neck, and it roars, and you pull out your blade, and you realize, I have done it. I have felled a great foe. And the dragon of the pauldron shrinks and becomes a regular pauldron, and the ink fades, and the scrolling, the lettering turns to a blank, perfect white on this 4-quadrant tabard. It does the same for the other creatures as they fade away, and the memories flash of you killing those. And then in top of the tabard, along the edges, it is just written and scrolled in golden threads wrapped along it. Nothing but these blank 4 quadrants on it. And it just says over and over, seek victory, seek victory, seek victory. Just in the actual etchings of it. You can go ahead and add victory plate to your inventory.
Does it have? Let me see. Can I wear that? Probably not.
Oh no.
Not yet.
Not
No.
yet.
But in 2 levels. 3 levels.
Maybe I'll just wear it anyway.
Alright.
I mean, where to get your proficiencies?
Anything else? You're looking at me. You got something else?
I mean, I can crank out scenes all day if that's what you want, but
Give me a scene, buddy. What you got?
no, not yet.
Alright.
I do
Too
want.
soon.
So-
Pay off too soon.
Gotcha. Don't want to build it up. So, dawn breaks after you fully rest, each of you. And as you move forward, setting sail, where? Where do we chart a course to?
Oh, west of that island where the turtle fell,
Yep.
The
right?
big one?
C3.
Alright, so you are going to make your sail towards C3. Did someone roll already for me?
Oh no, I just dropped the thing. What do you
Alright,
is it?
who's going to go ahead and roll for our
I
navigation?
haven't rolled in a while.
I did it last time.
Go ahead.
Let's roll a number we've already rolled.
Okay. 25.
That's,
Wait.
that's what it's saying.
Yeah.
So you can either
Smooth
have
sailing.
you can either have smooth sailing for this journey, or you can push your luck and get an extra hero point for next session.
I feel like we could use some smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. All right.
We could use some smooth sailing. I
So
think.
you will arrive at this next
Downtime.
island
Yeah.
uninterrupted. So the Windfall catches a breeze, and Cass looks up as she smiles. She says, "Fair winds. Maybe it's a good sign for once." As Mr. Darrow spins the helm, the sails catch the wind as the Windfall pushes forward, the sun beating down upon you as you cut through the red wood of the Windfall, shining like a ruby in the center of the ocean, sunlight beckoning you forward as you sail and sail, the shadow of this island getting closer, and one step closer to the possibility of solving the captain's problem. We're gonna go ahead and end our session for today.
We did it. We solved the Sea Devil.
You solved the Sea Devil not getting murdered encounter.
It's backwards, but that's.
If that,
We got results.
I don't.
Just roll 4 natural 20s.
Yeah, just roll natural 20s all day apparently. Oh
I spent 2 hero points to get 2 of those. In
That's
fairness.
that's amazing. Those hero points really came in clutch. All right, we got a whole new bag of worms to open up, and
Worms.
Worms.
Worms, you say.
All right, everyone that's here, thank you so very much for being here. We love you all. Check out the YouTube. Make sure you follow us on there. And we love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. We'll catch you next time on the Sleeping Sea.
Bye, everyone.
Oh,
Bye, y'all.
disadvantage.